Hey everybody, and welcome back to another live stream. This one here is just going to be kind of like a chill live stream. Not really like a big topic we're going to talk about today. It's going to be like a chill live stream. But I'm excited for the next week live stream. Like so, we're going to basically have like a little Halloween party, and then of course too that's also too will be the one subscriber giveaway, 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So I'm very excited about that. So, but of course, I do have special guests on with me tonight, as always. And like I said, they're kind of like regulars on the channel, pretty much. They're like regulars, but they're always with me and everything. It's awesome to be with them. And of course, this one here I actually got to meet at Scarefest. And I want to tell you guys something. I mean, Jesus Christ, this guy's like a giant. I mean, oh my God. If you guys see the picture on Instagram, man, see me standing, I'm like looking up to him like this, like, my God. Well, I mean, he is from Nebraska. I mean, they're corn-fed up there in Nebraska. But I mean, Jesus Christ, I didn't know he was that tall. Like, Jesus Christ. To be honest, I think he's actually, in my opinion, I think he's way taller than Tyler Maine. Like, Tyler Maine's like 6'9", 6'8". Jesus. I think Mr. Child of Corn over here, I think he's like, oh boy, like 7 foot, 7'1".
No, dude, it's crazy because I actually don't know how. Like, it would have been interesting. Again, my bad. Thank you for having me, dude. I appreciate it. And it was great seeing you this weekend. It would have been interesting to see Tyler Maine there because, like, I did get to like not like stand next to James Jude Courtney, but like, yeah, I think pretty much everybody I ran into, they were like, Jesus Christ, dude, we didn't realize you were this tall. like when I told Mike and Jay, I was like, oh yeah, I'm the, the dude, Child of the Corn on your channel. I was like, pretty sure they were probably expecting me to be like some punk ass kid or some shit.
See, I wonder if they knew who I was because I never told them who I was. I never said I'm the shape of the shadows. So I know they don't think they know who I was. They're like, who's this guy?
Dude, yeah. We missed them on Saturday because I think they were out, getting autographs or whatever. But man, like anybody listening to the channel, dude, those two dudes were cool as shit, man. Yeah, everybody was really cool, man. Like that, just like that whole trip just gave me like just the horror community is excellent, man. Super nice, super awesome. Just everybody's like very just, come and hang out and everything and just very nice. So Good trip, dude. It was an excellent trip, actually.
That was too bad. So too bad it went by too quickly.
I know. Yeah. Right.
And we also got 2 other guests coming on with us tonight. And of course, we wish they were there at Scarefest with us, having a big old reunion. But of course, they couldn't make it. But like I said, they're with us in spirit. We got Mr. Aaron.
So, hey, I was gonna say all those pictures, man, look like a good old time. And yeah, you're huge, dude. You're
no, but like Tyler Main probably outweighs
like,
me probably by like 40-50 pounds. But I was talking to Jake, because we, like I told you, we were eating dinner next to Nick Castle and James.
Yeah, you still good. Wait, why'd you text me? Hey, no, you need to stop. Why did you text me like, hey, Shape?
Dude, I was so like in like shock that we were like kind of like.
Well, you should say, hey, Shape, Nick Castle is at this restaurant. You need to be here ASAP. I would have got in the car with Mr. Shape, drove down there and be like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Child of the Corn? What's up, man? I was like, oh my God, hey, Nick Castle, what you doing here?
Dude, actually, yeah, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was like, my bad for if I'm cursed too much.
He was awestruck.
So like, we literally go to like this. We asked the guys at the Hilton, because we parked at the Hilton, and we're like, hey, is there any eating places? And they're like, yeah, there's some eating places, which actually seemed like really nice. Like when we got there, so we get there, and then Jake's like, yo, dude, there's some people at the Hilton. Like, I was like, dude, we were literally just there, but like, we're gonna come back. And the guy just like let us park again, and we walked in, and I'm like, oh shit, it's like both of them. And then we couldn't figure out who the third guy was. And then Eric from Bearded for Entertainment, he said that it was the young kid that played the original Michael in '78, all grown up.
Holy shit.
That was crazy, dude. I was like, damn. And then like Art the Clown, David Howard Thornton, and like some people from Terrifier 2. I can't think of the girl's name. I don't know the Terrifier cast too well. Other than the final girl, and then David Howard Thornton, and obviously Damien, the director. But the one girl that actually got like the salt, the bad kill in the second one, she was there, and it was, I don't know, man. It's just like, it was crazy, just kind of being around.
Was there.
Yeah, I actually think that they were. I just didn't really. When we were in the bar, I couldn't recognize. It's hard to like put faces. I've only seen that movie like twice, so. But. Dude, that whole weekend was just super cool, man. Like, my bad. I'll let you bring on the other one before.
Yeah, we got to bring the other one on.
Yep.
And of course, we also have the wonderful Mr. Donatello.
Sorry, Donnie. My bad, dude.
What the hell y'all mean the other one? What the hell is that?
We swap places.
The one who doesn't look like us. What the hell is that?
It's very weird being on this side of the
screen. The whole weekend was super cool because, like I told you, Shape, like I thought it was just going to be a thing where we were going to be waiting in line for like hours. Like I thought it was like I would be lucky to get 3 signatures, and it was nothing like that. Everything was super fast, just. It was cool, man.
Well, I mean, hell, if you were in what's his face, Dave Arquette's line, Jesus Christ, we waited for at least 2 hours.
Dude, that was so freaking cool.
Well, actually, it was so. Luckily, we went there on Friday, and I'll remember that for the future. If there's any big ones that I'm trying to get, I'll definitely try to do that the first night instead of the second day. Because the second day we walked in there and the line was stupid. Yeah, it was double what it was like the Friday night. So
that's what we did. Go ahead, Donnie.
No, I was gonna say you got to meet everybody multiple times, or you went back because you didn't get to meet them that first day.
Exactly. Yep. Pretty much just one time. I mean, there was definitely times where like you could go back, like Doug Bradley. So I went and got his autograph, and then it was like right before, I think it was like 15, 20 minutes before they closed on Friday. And then I was like, Jay we watched the movie. I know he likes Hellraiser a lot and stuff, and likes to read books. So he was doing a book signing too, or like one of his signable things was his book that he had wrote. And so went and got that and stuff. But it was really cool because, like I was telling Shape, there was this guy in front of us the second time we went back around, and he had these Japanese laser discs of 1 and 3. And literally, Doug was like, yeah, I have both of these in my collection too. So it was pretty cool. It was really interesting to see like the collectibles that people were having to get signed and stuff like that. Really interesting shit, man.
I mean, I'll tell you what, though, with some of the vendors there, actually, it was so awesome because one of the vendors actually had the the Halloween bobblehead that was 45 only sale. So it's got the bobblehead, but it's got a pumpkin on the bottom. I think the pumpkin light up. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, they had that there, and I was like, oh my god, I need to get this. And I saw the price. I was like, yeah, no.
Oh yeah, I mean, like some vendors were like super priced, and some were just like pretty fucking reasonable, man. It just kind of there was so much shit to take in where it was just like, okay, I'm gonna be reasonable. Like the one thing that I bought, other than like the signatures and stuff, I bought 2 Shout Factories of Curse of Michael Myers and H2O posters. You know, like the posters that come with like the movies or whatever, the 4K. So those were like $10 each. I was like, damn, that's a steal. So
Oh damn, it was. Oh,
yeah, like this lady had this tub full. She had a set of VHS and like physical media and Blu-rays and stuff, and they were kind of like down in the corner or whatever. And I was just like, oh, nice.
What does the Shout Factory have to do with like all the horror stuff? Because it seems like if you buy a remastered horror movie that came out, you know, it's an old school movie, it's like remastered by them. Like my Candyman Blu-ray it came in their case.
Yep, exactly. Mostly, I think they just come up with really cool like slip covers and shit like that. And I think I could be wrong. Like I had my Shout Factory stuff. Some of them I've opened, some of them I haven't. So like I don't know everything that it entails, but like, I think some of them just come with like extra shit. And then like this, I have a Cursed poster from Shout Factory that's pretty cool. Like I don't know. I think it's just part of like their like big deals or like just what. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess maybe. I'm sorry, Shay.
No, go ahead, Lonnie.
No, I was gonna say because I guess maybe back then when it originally came out, they didn't think Tales from the Hood was gonna like become this, you know, like cult classic that it is now. So there wasn't really much behind the scenes stuff. What I noticed is that when you buy the Blu-ray from Shout Factory, it's got all this behind the scenes stuff, but it's with Rusty Cundiff and all the directors and writers like today, though. You know what I mean? It came out like 2019, whatever it was. I'm saying it wasn't interviews with them from back in '95 when they were actually filming it.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
But before we continue, got some people in the chat. Of course, we have the one and only Mrs. Shape.
What's up, Nikki? Great meeting you this weekend too.
Yeah, she says what she was saying. She's like, it's like, do you see him? She'll look for the tallest motherfucker you can find.
Yeah, it took me a second to like look at my phone, and then I saw that you take a picture of me and send it in the snap or like the chat or like just text it to me. I was like, oh shit.
This dude doesn't get lost.
Yeah, I was scrolling.
Then we have the Miss Wonderful Chelsea Mars in the chat. How's it going, Chelsea? She does a lot of cool like cosplay stuff and makeup stuff.
Oh man, she would have. There were a lot of great cosplay there this week. I was trying to think to myself like right before the stream, like, what might have been the best one that I saw.
Me,
dude. So Jake posted a picture with a guy like a Michael Myers cosplay. I thought it was you, and it was Eric from Bearded from Entertainment. He literally had the same cover overalls, like it was the same color, and it had, I swear, I'm pretty sure it was a Rob Zombie 2 mask. Almost, I'll have to send it to you. I swear, I was like, oh, there's Shape.
Shape is thinking I gotta take this motherfucker out.
I wasn't Rob Zombie one. I was the Halloween Kills.
Oh yeah, you were. Yeah, you had the darker overalls on. Yeah.
So Mrs. Shape won that argument then.
Oh no! I'm going because when I went to Scare Fest, I was already planning on being either a 78 Michael or the Halloween Kills Michael because both Nick Castle and James Ducournau are going to be there. So really, no point of me going as Tyler Maine's Michael Myers, and seeing Nick Castle and James Ducournau. But for Halloween, I'm going to be the Rob Zombie for Halloween.
And I'm glad you said that because it's got to be awkward when people come up to them and be like, "Here, sign this," some shit that they weren't even in. Like when we met Kiss, I know two of the original members aren't there anymore. So why would I be like, "Hey, guys who replaced them, here, sign their stuff that they played on,"
Right.
So I only took stuff. Excuse me, that the new guys have played on. I say new, they've been there for like 15 years now, so it's not new, but I only took stuff that they played on though for them to sign it because I thought that'd be kind of stupid to have them here sign on some shit that you didn't play on.
Oh yeah, well for me, I didn't. Well, I think Child Corn brought some stuff to get signed. I didn't. I didn't bring nothing to get signed. Then like even when I walked up to James Jude and I had the mask in my hands, like, oh, you want to sign the mask? I said, no. I just want this picture signed. Just go ahead and sign it. I don't really care about this autograph. I just want the picture. That's all I wanted. I just want the picture. But the only problem is like with so with Nick Castle and James Jude Courtney, you had to pay the $60 to get the autograph and the picture. You get a free picture with them.
Dude,
And if you just wanted a picture, you still had to pay the $60. So it's kind of like, well,
you better get both. Yeah, no
doubt. Get both. Yeah. But like with Daniel Harris, and Joe Faree, both of them, and I think Kane Hart as well. You could have just got the you could either pick either the photo or the autograph or the combo. And you know, so with Joe Faree and Daniel Harris, I just got the picture with them.
You mean Ken Faree?
Oh yeah, Ken.
Yeah. I should have
mixed up with Joe Grizzly.
Because how tall was he, dude? He was probably like 6'4".
He's 6'5".
Yeah. 6'5".
I was probably like right under his nose.
Nice.
I was scrolling. I was scrolling through Instagram. I was like, I didn't even notice any of the celebrities. I was like, why is Anthony a giant? Like you got stilts on, take them off. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, honestly, like literally, like Danielle Harris when I was standing next to her, because I didn't look at the photo like right off the bat, not until like the next day. But
it looked like you were with a small child.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, like I don't know if you guys like follow her on Instagram, but like she's kind of like she's pretty feisty. Like out of her and Scout, I feel like she's a little feistier, like personality. She was a super fucking nice, man. Like both of those ladies were just genuine and.
But, oh my god! Like Scout Taylor Compton, man. Like when I see her in like 2007, Halloween, and then I see her,
Hey, I wanted to tell you, dude. Like, duh, dude, man, she's a total babe, dude.
she looks like a lot. She looks. I mean, like. I thought it was like a different person there because I'm like, who is this girl? And I'm looking at the poster behind her. It's like, wait, she was in Rob Zombie. Was she playing Rob Zombie? And I'm like, oh, she played Laurie Strode. Oh my gosh, she does not look like her at all. I mean, Danielle Harris still looks the same when she was little, and when she grew up, she's looked the same. Scout Taylor Compton did not look the same at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just there's a couple other movies that Scout's in that I need to watch. There's like this like witch possession film that she's in that looks really good, but I just like kind of tread on whatever that is. It's like,
well, hey, let's just say that I saw Anthony, Mr. Child of Corn, with Scout Taylor Compton,
dude, it was like a great. Dude, I was like
somewhere where it should.
I was like, what the hell am I gonna do? Put my hand like directly on her center of her back or some shit? I was just.
You had your head on that right cheek, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They were like, again, they were just both super nice. Everybody was super nice, man. Like Doug Bradley, I felt like I had heard people say that he was kind of like a little, I don't know, like a little just like, I'm here just to be here. But like, dude, he was super genuine, super just intellectually, like, dude, you could just tell by the way he was talking and everything, just. Yeah. And then when we went into the panel was awesome, dude. The panel was super cool to listen to.
Oh my god, but he talked so much in that panel. Like he was hogging the spotlight.
I'm gonna be honest, Shape. Brooks did the same thing, but I was thinking to myself, I was like, honestly, I wanted to probably hear him the most, to be honest, because we'll always hear those other guys probably a lot, you know what I mean? Like and other ones.
Yeah, but when I'm there, I want to hear James Jude.
True, that's true. I mean, yeah. Well, like what I told Brooke, though, that one girl came up there and she was like, can each of you guys tell me how you guys prepare for acting and how you did it when you first started out? And I'm like, dude, that's a pretty broad question. Like if you're directly, hitting that for every single person on the panel, like that's going to be a really long answer.
Like an hour to answer.
Yeah, That's what I'm saying. So like,
when I was 7, I saw Shakespeare.
Yeah, I mean, he literally went all the way back to like when he was in high school and him and Clyde Barker were like best friends and shit. And I was like, dude, that is so fucking cool to like hear that shit. Like, I don't know. It was cool.
So you got Mr. Hadfield Slasher saying, "What's up, guy? What's up, Hadfield Slasher?
What's up?"
Mrs. Shape saying, "It was so much fun. I wish we could have gotten more time to hang out with y'all.
Yeah, I think next time, I think we're gonna come up there even like a day earlier. Like I'm pretty like maybe even on Wednesday or something like that. Like I think to maybe like kind of dude, Lexington was super cool, man. Like I'm not trying to sound weird or anything, but I was kind of like I'd never been down south before, so I was a little. I didn't know what quite to expect, but everybody was super nice,
Anthony,
man. It was just.
Anthony, let me tell you, I'm more worried going down there than you would be. Okay, let me tell you.
Oh, come on, Donnie. Man, I was funny.
No, what was crazy, like, is dude, our drive home, I knew it was gonna be immaculate, dude. The drive home, like all the leaves were changing colors, the fucking cities look beautiful and shit. The scenery was awesome. Oh, dude, I literally had a 13-hour drive and I made it, but when I got home and was ready to lay down, I was like delirious, man. It was crazy.
Well, next year, if we decide to go, I need to go down to where Mr. Donnie and Aaron are, pick them up, and then we'll head down there.
That'd be wild.
Yeah, dude, we went through Mizzou. Yeah, how far are you guys from like Kansas City? I don't even know.
About 200 miles or some change.
Yeah, we're from Kansas City. We're about maybe 2.5, 3 hours away.
Dope.
It's Columbia's dead in the center of Missouri.
Dead in the center. Nice.
So about 200 miles either way in Kansas City or St. Louis. We're directly in the center.
So you guys probably like what, about 3-4 hours from like Springfield, Illinois?
That sounds right.
Springfield. I got what you're saying.
I think it's about maybe 4, a little bit more, because I know from St. Louis to Chicago is 3. And St. Louis about 130 miles from here.
On our way back through, I couldn't believe how long it took us to get through St. Louis. Kansas City was like that. St. Louis, big. I was like, damn, like it feels like we've been.
When y'all came through by the arch?
We did not. No, we did. No, I don't think so. No, we were like, it was like over to the not through. No, it was, we went over the bridge, right? The bridge with like the
casino right next to it.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that casino looked cool as shit, dude.
Yeah, that is 70, but sometimes people make the mistake, Aaron. Like, you know how we like get off before we end up going downtown by the arch to go to the arena to go see the WWE. So I'm saying that some people get stuck in that they end up going all the way out of the way downtown. And once you get down there to the arch and you keep 70 past the arch, boom, you crossed over into Illinois. You're in East St. Louis, Illinois.
I thought it was beautiful. First time going through that way. I had been like a little further north to go through like Chicago and shit like that. But like, yeah, that was all like really, really, really nice, man. Kentucky was beautiful, dude. Like it honestly really was.
Kentucky is beautiful, man. Just
I will. I'll have to send you guys some photos, or I'll post them here in a little bit. We on our way back, we stopped in Indiana and went to. Hold on, got him. No, I'm sorry. A freaking mosquito came in, I think, through the garage, and he made it down to my room. And I swear, every time I've been catching him, I feel like I'm crushing him, and then he gets out of my hand. I think I took him down though. Anyways, my bad.
I believe in you, Mr. Miyagi. That shit.
We went to a oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. We went to a cave. I thought it was going to be some above ground cave, but it was like a down in, like we had to walk down into like this tunnel. I'll have to send you guys the pictures.
That's why it's called a cave, Anthony.
But like there are above ground caves though, right? You know what I mean? Like isn't that what is that, or is that like a den?
Was Michael in there?
Was Michael in there?
Dude, it was crazy. It looked like we were like in a house of like, or a cave of like wax. It was like crazy because like all the deposits were just like water minerals and shit, and it all like
the stalactites and all that.
Yep, exactly. Yep, it was really cool.
Aaron, you been to Bridal Cave?
I don't think so.
I think that's down in the Ozarks. But we went there on like a field trip, long, 5th grade, whatever it was. And it was like that, like what he's talking about. And I'm like, can we please get the fuck out of here? Like, this is creepy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be down here.
Yeah.
Like, and there was this one area that the tour went through. There was this little thing called the lemon squeeze, where there was two like stalactites that were like this, so you had to turn and like shimmy through it. And I was like,
No.
so what do the fat kids do? Like, do y'all just leave them? It like
In the
do they
horror
not
movie,
join the
maybe.
tour? No, for real, because like in my mind, I was like, somebody's gonna get stuck, and then we gonna have to spend extra hours here getting a fat ass out. Can we just bypass this part?
Some school field trip decisions are like just not it.
But I tell you what, though, I was super jealous of Child of Corn for two damn reasons. One is that because we watched the movie, actually told us where they're going to be at to go out drinking and stuff. So me and Miss Shape went to that bar. We actually got something to eat and went to the bar. And it's like 9:30, and it's like the Mrs. Shape, she actually starting not feel good. She had a terrible migraine. So we ended up having to leave. This one here got to drink with, we watched the movie and everything else. I got to talk to her. I'm like, God damn. And then that was like, oh, God. I was so heated. And then Saturday night, like I said, he's like, you come out to eat? And I said, well, no, because he didn't say anything about it. So, we already went to eat, and Miss Shape wanted to go in the pool before we leave and so that we didn't go to the pool yet. So she wanted to go swimming or whatever. So we went swimming, then we went to bed. And then I wake up in the morning, we're getting ready to go, and we head on the road. And I'm scrolling through Instagram, and I see Killjoy Jake's picture of him in a restaurant with Nick Castle, and then the bearded dude, and of course Anthony's right there. I'm like, ain't this?
And all the pictures, Anthony was there, like,
dude. Nick,
I was like, ain't that something?
Nick
Nick was upset. She's like, oh my God, like, he couldn't even give us a text, say, hey, Nick Castle is here at this restaurant. Miss Shape said, I would have went out there with no makeup, no nothing. We would have got in the car and went straight there.
Dude, yeah, because I messaged you guys and I was like, hey, are you guys gonna go eat? Because dude, we literally thought, we were like, oh, we're not gonna do anything tonight. Like, we didn't see Mike and Jay there, and we're just like, oh, they're probably getting autographs or whatever. So then we were gonna pretty much do what you guys did. We're like, we'll just go get a bite to eat and we'll go back to the hotel. And we stopped at that place, and then Jake messaged me, and I didn't really specifically know who he was talking about. He was just like, oh, there's some celebs down in the Hilton bar or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, I guess we'll go back, because we were literally just there, and we were starving Marvin, but like, dude, I felt like we were gonna go there and just drink and like not have any food. They had really good food, man. I was like, damn.
And next time we go, as Miss Shape said right here, next time we go, we're just gonna follow Anthony like lost puppy. Follow everywhere he goes, we're gonna go, because we're gonna run into somebody.
No, seriously. So like, literally, we did have the best luck. Like, I mean, like, only waiting in David's line for like an hour or whatever, and then like,
Hey, Conrad.
Yeah, my bad. What's up? What's up, Conrad? What's up, dude? Dude, I've been like wanting to tell Conrad, like, I've been a little bit telling him kind of like some stories and stuff, but yeah, dude, we walked in there the second day. We walked out to the hallway, and we're like, oh shit, like, look at Danielle and Scout's like line. It's fucking long as shit. So I was like, well, we better just hop in there. And then Brooke was like, I don't think this is their line. And I'm like, it has to be. And then we walked back into like the convention area, and it was like right there. There was like probably a dozen people, and I was like, holy shit, like, we got this lucky. And yeah, super, super nice. Maybe next year So my bad. I got two questions. So who other than yourself did you think had one of the best cosplays that you saw?
I saw a lot of pretty cool. I mean, everybody pretty much had some awesome cosplays there. I mean, a lot of people had a lot of good stuff. I mean, hell, even the Leatherface and Michael I took a picture with, they had pretty good. They had awesome costumes. Heck, I even saw a short Hobo Myers. He looked the guy was real short, but dude, he dressed up as Halloween 2 Michael Myers with Hobo Myers. He had the whole get up, the half mask off. He had the freaking that jacket on, everything else. Yeah, he was
Carhartt.
Yeah, he went all decked out. I was like, oh man. I mean, there's a lot of cool awesome people that had a lot of cosplays, a lot of stuff. Man, I was like, oh my god, man, that's freaking awesome.
A couple of my favorites were actually Friday the 13th Part 2s. I actually saw a couple, probably like 3 that were actually like really fucking cool, man. Like, I think that was like one of the very first ones that we saw. Like, we walked in and I was like, holy shit. I was like, look at like real pickaxe, like everything. I was like, damn, it was really cool.
Real pickaxe.
Yeah, I feel like that place did not give a shit, like with stuff like that. Like, I mean,
I was about to say,
real.
Aaron, that's what concerns you.
Yes.
they were selling samurai swords and
That
shit at the
concerns you.
booth
Like,
and shit. Yeah, I was like, damn, those are real swords. I was like, I thought they were just fucking gonna be toys, but yeah.
Well,
Hey, yeah, we have some used chainsaws here too.
Shape, did you see on Friday? I don't know if you did because it was pretty late when we were in David's line. Somebody had the TCM3 chainsaw. The saw is part of the family, or what is that? What does it say on the saw?
The Saw, I think the Saw's family or something.
The Saw's family, and it was literally a like perfect, like it was. I swear to God, it was like straight from the movie. I swear, it was crazy.
We also have Miss Brooke in the chat.
What's up? Yeah, honestly, staying at the Hilton, dude, next time, that'd be crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, she was looking at the prices after. I think it might have been different because it was that weekend, but I think staying at that place like the weekend, like this next weekend, was like practically nothing. So I don't know. It's crazy.
And what's funny was because when we talked to them, right, we finally got to meet him and everything. This dude and Brooke got lucky because they got VIP passes.
Yeah, we did, but dude, I'm telling you, like, okay, so I'll let you finish, but this is what happened. Like, so we go in with like the weekend plus, like that's what I thought I had purchased, and that is what I purchased. But the lady that gave us the tickets gave us the VIP ones. But then so Brooke's like, I'm gonna go see if this will work. So I'm gonna go up to the get a free shirt, and she's like, well, you need this little voucher like sticker or whatever, and I was like, well, we don't have that. And I was like, there ain't no way they're gonna want to see my tickets on my phone.
Wait, time out.
You know what though?
He Kanye'd you. Nigga said, I'm gonna let you finish, but what really happened?
I mean, that's pretty much what happened. Like, I'm just like, yeah, I mean,
but what's crazy is with the VIP passes. So if you get the VIP passes, you get like the voucher thing for like a free shirt, whatever, right? But also too, you also get like early access, everything else. But also too, the big thing was you get 3.
But dude,
count them 3 like cut in lines.
But dude, you had
you get 3 cut in lines. I know you guys didn't have that, but I'm just saying though for the VIPs, yeah, you get 3 cut in lines. So if you wanted, hey, I want to go Dave Arquette, and you go Dave Arquette, say, hey, I got this.
Oh,
I got a line, and they clip it, and you go them. And so anybody who you wanted to get that was a line was super long, and you need to get them like right then and there. Yep. If you had that card, man, you only get 3 of them, and they just step and you cut everybody in line just to get to where you want to get. Dude, like, that's awesome.
I got a similar story about just skipping the line, right? So I'm like 10 years old. Excuse me. And at the time, I don't know like if they were just doing this for all the kids in the hospital or what, but the Make-A-Wish people came to me when I was like 10 years old. And they asked me what my like wish was. And Anthony, I think I told you this part. My wish was to meet Allen Iverson, but I don't think they knew how to do that. So they sent me, my mom, my grandmother, right? I'm like 10. And we get there, everything paid for. There's like a villa. We're gonna be there 7 days. They gave us fucking like a Lincoln Navigator, like all that was paid for, unlimited gas card, everything, right? And when we get to the actual park, we're going to all this is before like the Toy Story thing, the Harry Potter thing, all that stuff that they got now. This is before that, right? So we're going through the different, Universal, there's Epcot, there's the Animal Kingdom, all these different places we're going to. And because of the Make-A-Wish thing, I had this little autograph book for all the characters to sign or stamp. And then I had like what you were saying, it was like a sticker, but it was unlimited though. As long as I had that on, me and anybody with me could skip the line for rides, to get autographs, whatever it was in the whole Disney World, like no matter where you were at, Epcot, Universal, no matter what you were doing. And so like I remember, I think it was like Mickey and Minnie and Donald were getting ready to leave. They were doing their last autographs and stuff. And I got to cut the line because I had that. And I remember this lady was so fucking mad, like, because she was like, why do they get to cut the line? And they were like, because he has the badge. What do you mean? And she was like, but nobody told us about that. And they were like, well, that's not really our fault, ma'am. Like, this was like done months in advance. Like,
Dude, yeah, people like literally that happened to me. I was in David's line, literally, like a bunch of things could like, night Nikki or night misshape.
I misshape.
Literally, we're in David's line. We get right there. Like I'm literally the next person up. I had told you the story, Shape, of that kid in front of me that had 5 movie theater size posters and got them all signed. It was super cool. Him and his mom were super fucking cool. Like we talked to him a little bit before, or like while we were in. Dude, there is no absolute way that I've missed. Oh, there he is. Hold on. Got him. It's over. I was super worried too because I was like, dude, of course this would be the thing. Okay, anyways, my
that
bad.
mosquito was like, I'm gonna let you finish.
Yep.
But right now I'm in your face.
So like I told you, Shape, we were in line, and then all of a sudden we hear the "Arr, arr," where I'm like, what the hell? We look behind, it's Kane Hodder. Like I'm walking through our line, and I'm like, oh shit. And Brooke was like, is it like she didn't know who the hell he was, and I was just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know that's Kane Hodder. And like, so she's like, go up and take a picture, but he had a lady friend there. I mean, it was just, I don't know, some lady and some guy were with him, and she was like, oh, is it all right if I cut in front of you and all this? And I was like, oh yeah, no problem. Like I don't even know if she even had a fucking sticker or whatever. I was just like, yeah, I don't care. Like,
is that his real name or is that a nickname?
I think his real name, Kane Hunter.
question.
I don't know. But hey, get this right. I'm telling you guys a story. So when we first met Nate Castle, I was so nervous on meeting Nick Castle, right? Because this is Nick Castle,
No question.
This is the shape. This is my shape, and I'm super excited to meet him. And everything else. I get up to him. I had the picture. I grabbed one of the pictures I want signed, and I went up there, right? And I go up there and I said, "Oh my God, James!" And I was like, "Oh, shit." I just called him James.
Oh,
because at first we went to James Jucorni's line first because he was right there, but his line was we got cut off. So the guy said, "Well, why don't you come back in like 15 minutes, or whatever?" So we actually went to the Nick Castle's line first next. So we went through his, and then we went back to James. But yeah, I was so nervous. I called Nick Castle James. I was like, "Oh my God,
didn't give a shit, dude." Super cool.
I know. I told him I was so sorry. I'm just super nervous. I'm about to cry here because like, so you're my shape, and like I said, this is a dream come true for me. And he's like, "Oh, that's all right, man. It's all right."
Baby shape.
Can you say hi?
Okay, I got to ask you guys a question. You guys know what movie this is from, right?
Little Rascals.
Yeah, Little Rascals.
Have a shake.
Hi. We gotta go to bed in this.
You gotta go
Come
night.
on.
Go sleep, peace.
Ah,
Go sleep, peace.
night, little baby shape.
Sleep, bye,
I love what you've done with her hair too.
It's natural curly hair.
Yeah, it's natural.
Yeah, that is crazy. That's some natural curl, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say like word to the afro.
Oh well, my it's funny because my mom and grandma they came here and watched Serenity and Cal, and so when we got back, I was like, "How did they go? Everything went pretty good, And then I called mom on I think it was Sunday on the way home. Like we were heading out, and I called them up and I said, "Hey, we're heading back, whatever." That's how everything's going. And she's like, "Oh, it's going." So your grandma had a rough night. And I said, "Why?" And I said, "Because Serenity was up till like midnight last night." And I was like, "Well, that's her fault. She let her sleep until 6 p.m. That's her fault."
It really be like that though.
Oh yeah.
But according to grandma said, the only thing she would ever watch, like calm down and watch, was nothing but Michael Myers movies. That's all she watched. Calm down.
That's what happened. That's what happened to me as a kid.
Hey, stop. You have to go night nights. Say night nights.
Close enough.
If she's looking for Cherry, Cherry's already in bed. Cherry's freaking little dog.
But yeah, that was my little embarrassment. I was like, "Oh my God, I was so nervous."
So two questions. One, when you were watching Anthony shoot his shot with Scout Taylor Compton, he was having that moment from Hitch where he was like, you know, too high says I just want to be friends, too low says I just want to grab some ass, and he was like, okay, so he's like friends, ass, me, got it. Like that's what you did, Anthony.
No, and I was like, shit, you're totally right, dude. Like literally going up there, even with like, you know, like going up there and talking to those ladies, I didn't want to be like, oh, thank you, ma'am. Like, thank you, ma'am. I if I said it, I might have said it once, but I don't think I did. But I like, you know what I mean? Because like, I was just, I was, you know, you're kind of nervous because you're like, oh man, I've watched these fucking movies. I've seen these people on screen for like, you know, my whole life and shit. And I'm just like, but man, they were just super down to earth, super cool. Like everybody was, man. It was crazy.
And everybody tries to put it in your heads, like when you go to meet like these celebrities who do a bunch of things like this, that they're just gonna be a bunch of assholes and all this and that. And then, you know, more often than not, that's not the case. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It just, you know, but I understand exactly what you guys are saying, like the whole like, you know, starstruck thing, and, you know, all that is like, but Aaron, have you met a celebrity before, right? You had a no?
No.
I feel like you've told me a story otherwise that is like similar to this, because I know exactly what you guys are saying, because that's what it was when I met like Gene Simmons. I had the same thing that what Shape was saying. I was trying to figure out what the hell do I say? I got so many questions.
Right.
Like what do I ask? I can't just make him stand here and answer a whole list of questions that I brought. You know what I mean? But everybody was like, oh, they're rock stars. They've been rock stars for 50 years. They're gonna be so like just mean and just, you know, and you guys are like Black Kiss fans too. And I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like, music is music, man. Like I used to catch so much shit for that, man. We were standing in line to go into the concert, and this dude was asking me, he had already been sipping a little bit apparently, but he asked me like you're in line to go see Kiss? And I'm like, what the fuck else am I standing in this long ass line for? Like, you know, and I had a Kiss shirt on and everything. So no, I'm just standing here just because it's the cool thing to do. It was 30 degrees out there that night in Kansas City. But yeah, let me just walk around standing in lines. But when we met them, they had, so the VIP, they gave you like this little like necklace, like lanyard thing that you had to have on. And they did like this unplugged acoustic show for everybody who was part of that. Then they were like, everybody line up against the wall, and then they gave you a bag, and then Aaron, you know that red bag I had that has Kiss on it. They gave you a bag, and they gave everybody a license plate that had Kiss on it. So if you didn't bring nothing, they would at least sign that. But you could bring like two things. People were bringing records and guitars and all kind of shit. And I had a CD that that they had played on the four current members, and so I took the discs out, and it opened up in fourths, and each like piece had their face in it, and so I just had it open, and when they came by, they just autographed over their face, you know. And we're talking to Gene Simmons, and my mom was like, I asked him something, and my mom was recording it, and she was like, he has been wanting to ask you that question for like 15 years, and he was like, that was the question. And you know, and he was like, you want to take a picture? And he was like, just don't grab my ass. And then he just grabbed me and just took a picture, you know. And same thing with my mom. But like for them, I'm saying, like for them to just be that cool, Paul Stanley was a little bit of a diva. But,
oh, definitely, dude. If any of them were
I
going to
wasn't there
be,
to
it
meet
would
him
be
anyway.
Paul for sure. But yeah,
he wouldn't
Dude.
take a picture with me, but I was like, that's cool. I didn't come for you anyway.
Aaron, don't
Douche.
feel like left out or anything, because up until like the weekend, I hadn't really met any celebrity before. Like back in the day, I got some shorts. My cousin played for the Broncos, so I got some shorts from like John Elway.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I never should have taken that for granted. I never fucking lost those, but apparently probably ended up at Goodwill or some shit. I can't remember. But then I'm trying to think when the movie came out. I think it was 1998. Steven Seagal did a movie called The Patriot. Actually, I don't dare you guys. Go watch that film. And it actually seems super fucking weird how like it was like right when COVID hit and that movie was free on YouTube, and I watched that and I'm like, that is weird. The situation that this movie is like like the main theme of this movie and then what we're kind of going through at the time. It was really weird. But we went out to a trip to Montana and they were filming out there. And I went up to his like trailer and got like a Nebraska football hat signed by him. But like other than that, and I was so young where like I was just up there with like, oh, here's my hat. Like they were like, oh, there's a young kid out here who needs your, or wants your autograph. And he's like, all right. And so that was the only thing I've ever met up until that time. So
Yeah, I met a celebrity here until the only celebrity I met because my dad I think he still works there at the Flamingo Hotel and Casino in Vegas. Mr. George Wallace, he actually performs at the Flamingo, and I actually got to meet George Wallace
out there.
Yeah, that was the one time. So
George Wallace funny as shit, bro.
Yeah, he is. And then actually, that's the only celebrity I met until we went to Scarefest. But yeah, I mean, they all seem pretty awesome. They're all real nice. Like I said, the main ones I wanted to get was Nick Castle and James Jude, and I got one with Tom Savini. Tom Savini seems like he's an awesome dude. Like I was talking to him, whatever. Because my mom's a big fan of Tom Savini, so I had to make sure to get a picture and autograph by him. And then the other one was Kane Hodder. And then, but still, when I went to Daniel Harris, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's so tiny. I didn't know where to put my hand either, so I was kind of like. I know where to put my hand at, so I was kind of like right above her back, kind of like where her shoulder.
You almost need to do like the Keanu Reeves and just like phantom.
I was just gonna say that.
Keanu Reeves doesn't ever want to catch you.
Where he's like this in like every picture.
But I think I stalled her though because she's like, oh look, we're gonna be signing. So actually, I just want a picture. She's like, oh okay. She kind of gets up, I'm like okay, I'm like she's like
on my forehead.
Put the mask on. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, okay. I'm like, oh my god, dude. I was like, oh my gosh. She just, I wanted to do the Helvington so bad, but I want to be that kind of guy.
What's that? What do you mean?
Well, I guess Helvington. I think I don't know if it was it had been Nev Campbell. I guess when Helvington met Nate Campbell, freaking Helvington was like sniffing her hair.
No way.
Well, fortunately,
he told that story plenty of times, man. Yeah, he
fortunately, the two ladies were.
I could just see Nev Campbell like this.
Yeah. Dude, Nev Campbell would probably be the next one, like the next big autograph to get. Okay, so I feel like you're gonna probably say Nick Castle, which is fine. Other than Nick Castle, who do you think was probably the most like famous person there that you would probably say?
Oh, you know what? When it came down to it, the most famous one that was there was David Arquette.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would be like, it probably would be David, because of the Scream franchise.
I mean, it was easy to get in Nick Castle's line. It was easy to get in James Jude line. Kane Hodder was a little busy because we were trying to go back on Friday. It was kind of busy. We ended up going back to him on Saturday, and we were like third in line. So we got so he wasn't bad. Daniel Harris, when I went on Friday, she wasn't bad. Like the only person that was bad, like for autographs, was I want to say David Arquette and possibly David Howard Thornton.
Yeah, I bet David Howard
Those
Thornton.
Those were the two big ones. The lines were packed. James Jude was like, I want to say probably like third.
Yeah, dude, we walked by Nick and James Jude Courtney's. Like, that was like, we walked right in. I was nervous as shit. We're just like kind of walking around, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, those lines don't actually look all that long. I was like, let's go scout and see what else, we can see or whatever and shit. But dude, Tom Savini probably would have been a great fucking autograph to get, man. That would have been a good one.
I got that one.
Nice. I mean, that's solid because that would have been a good one.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Actually. To this particular convention, does Tony Todd go to this one too?
He should.
I think Tony Todd. I think it all depends on who get to come in. You know what I mean? Because I think last year or the year before, Nev Campbell was there. I think.
Dude.
But just so you guys know, if you guys ever plan on going Scarefest, I guess in Scarefest on their Facebook page, they already got a poll on it. They had a poll and they posted things. Hey, who do you guys want for next year's Scarefest? Bro, put the name down. Comment the name down.
Jennifer Hewitt.
Well, people put. Mine was Nev Campbell, Tyler Main, and of course Bruce Campbell. Now get this right.
Ooh, Bruce Campbell.
So there was there was a guy behind us because we went to Nick Castle twice. Because I went on Friday and I went on Saturday because I was too selfish because I got a picture with because the lady said, "Hey, you want a picture of the bus?" No, she's not going to be in this picture. It's going to be me and Nick Castle. That's it. So Friday I got a picture with Nick Castle, and then on Sunday or Saturday we went back and I said, "Hey, well you get the picture too because I'm in the middle. I'm between them like this, like right between them." But there was a guy. So this is how cool Bruce Campbell was. There was a guy. Apparently, he went to another horror convention, but Bruce Campbell was not on the panel. Like he was not on there at all. And all of a sudden, like Bruce Campbell actually showed up, surprised everybody and showed up.
Whoa!
And he stated the reason why he decided to surprise everybody and show up like this is because he knew that true fans would have been here to see me and get an autograph. He said, if my name was up there, I would have got people bringing me all this crap just so I could sign in and then be on the merry way. Like, don't really care. They just want some celebrity to sign something and be on the merry way.
Crazy.
So he actually didn't say nothing about it, just ended up showing up. And I'm like, man, that is freaking awesome.
That is crazy.
So I'm hoping he shows up next year.
Yeah. What was your other question, Donnie?
I wanted to know what were y'all's experience or interaction with Ken Foray, because that definitely was like, because I didn't know, you all hadn't told me that he was gonna be there. Then I saw those pictures and I was like, oh, this is what I would have went for. Like, no disrespect to everybody else, but that's what I would have went for. Because my mind, I would have been like, fuck that Joe Grizzly shit. What? Tell me about Keenan and Kel. Like,
I bet he would have been like, oh man, yeah, I bet that would have been a good question. I honestly didn't even know he was there up until we got there.
Of that, he had no pictures there of Keenan and Kel, nothing like that. Which is kind of weird. Like so basically, like all the celebrities, they have like pictures, like 8x10, stuff like that, of pictures that you can pick which one you want, and they can sign it. He actually didn't have those Keenan and Kel pictures there of him as a dad and stuff.
Dude, they were nice pictures too. I'm not even gonna lie. Danielle Harris's were freaking dope as shit, man.
Yeah, she had those skimpy ones too.
Yeah,
I want to get one of those, but
don't put that on me. I don't care what you said.
Dude.
I would have blown that up, been a poster size.
You would have blown it up.
I would have been a poster size smash.
But he said they had them skimpy ones too. Like, did you see him?
He has it committed to memory. He's like, I know every curve.
But Joe Fareed. I keep saying Joe because I keep saying
you keep saying Joe.
What's funny was with Ken Fareed, there was nobody in his line. There was some guy just talking to him, was kind of shooting the shit, and I walked up to him, and I guess in his money handler wasn't there. I guess whoever it was, like, was on break or whatever. I don't know. But I'm going there and say, hey, like, so if you want a selfie with him, it was $20. If you want an autograph, it was $40. But I said, I want to get on a picture with him. So I go up there and I was like, hey, like, can I get a picture with you? Like, you're awesome. Can I get a picture? He's like, yeah. So I took out 20 hands. He's like, oh, thank you. He's like, and then he walks up there. He's like, oh, come on now, come on. And he's like, I was like, oh man, it was great. Always give me you too, man. And he goes, sits down, and I was like, hey, before I leave. But of course, the thing is with selfies, you can do a video or a selfie. So I was like, you know what?
Wow, dude, video would have been cool.
I would have done the video.
But I want a picture with him too, but I was like, but I still want to get other things, so I couldn't really try to, spend too much. So by saying, hey, can you say the line? He's like, say what line? I say, I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch. And he got up, was like, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch. And I was like, oh my God.
Dude, that's epic, dude. That's
the shape fainted, and he was like, oh shit.
You didn't ask him about the bathroom stall thing? Like,
no.
Like, so how did you not break your arm? Like,
no, because what's funny was as I was talking to whatever, then the people started coming in line. I was like, oh, I better go.
That is an awesome interaction, though, for sure.
It really it is though, because that's what I was telling Gene Simmons. I was like, man, all these I played I've been playing guitar for a long time, and he's like, oh, you play? My mom was like, yeah, he's been playing a long time. And I was like, there's all these different bass players out there. I was like, but the one that I studied the most was you. And I said that, and then that's when like his expression kind of changed. He was kind of like just he was more like straight face before I said that, and then he started telling me like all this cool shit about like Jimi Hendrix and the Beatles and all this stuff. And I think the other people in line was like getting mad because he was just standing there talking to me and my mom the whole time. Like there was everybody else was like what the fuck? Like, because like, I'm pretty sure like the whole band had walked past already and he was still talking to us.
Dude, yeah. You can't go to those conventions and not have like patience, man. Like
Yeah.
anything more like there's nothing more cringe as shit than like being impatient around like the people that you know what I mean? Like that would just be a big fucking turnoff, man.
Especially if you have like a really good question or an observation or something that like you pick up on a detail that maybe very few people have seen other than the actor, and you're like, and then they connect with you over that. They're like, holy shit, yeah, you noticed that too? That's why I picked this from whatever. Like that moment where fandom, like the fan and the star, really have a down to earth connection.
Yeah, like with Kane Hodder, right? Because we got there Saturday, we got the early Saturday, and then I went straight to his line, and I was like third in line, and of course his line started picking up, and we're waiting, and so we got there. I want to say about 9:30, so we were in line till we were there till about like in his line at like till like 11:30, and I'm like, oh my god, where's Kane Hodder? And the guy asked like, where's he at? And he's like, well, actually his show got delayed. I guess somebody like backed into the show or something, so they're kind of waiting on that. but finally he was in the building. But he had to stop and talk to somebody, they said. But as he's walking in, he stopped at each booth. On the way to his booth, this stuff they're talking. I'm like, oh man. And I almost in a laugh. And Miss Shay's like, does he know as people? I say, hey, that's Kane Hodder. You don't rush Kane Hodder. Kane Hodder comes when he wants to come. He wants to come when he wants to come. So then he comes, I'm sorry, guys. And then I'm like, man, like dang, like I'm actually taller than Kane Hodder. We're about the same height, but I mean, he still is good. I mean, for his age, man, he still is good.
Yep.
But I guess somebody said something about that, and the ladies told us like, hey, yeah, he doesn't like it when people say he looks smaller in person. He does not like that. So
yeah, I would never bring that shit up. No.
Like, hey, like I thought you'd be taller, or I thought you'd be bigger, or whatever. Yeah, don't say that. And I said, no, actually, he still is good for it. He say that he likes that. And I was like, okay, I'll say that.
True.
Yeah, I didn't realize Gene Simmons was that tall, actually. Like, and this obviously is before the platform boots on, and like it's like what you were saying, like about the whole like patience thing, and Aaron, what you were saying about like noticing details that other people maybe never even thought about. When Tommy Thayer was going past, he was signing stuff, and I'm telling my mom, I'm like, Mom, this is Tommy Thayer. He replaced Ace Frehley in 2002, and every Kiss thing that's come out since then had him playing on it. And he was like, oh man, you know your stuff. And he's like signing over like his face in the little CD booklet thing. And so then he goes to the lady who was standing next to me, and he goes to sign her license plate or bag, whatever it was he was going to sign. And I had my phone, and I was getting ready to take a picture, and he was signing, and he stopped, and he saw me holding the phone up, and he was just and just let me take. You know what I'm saying? Well, most people would have screw this guy. Like, let's get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? Eric Singer came and brought me one of his drumsticks. Like, I mean, this shit, like one of the ones that he had just used. Shit was cool. Like, Aaron, the end of Detroit Rock City when Jam catches the drumstick.
Yeah, that's what it was like.
So no, but when they did the little like acoustic set. Eric came and he was talking to me, and I don't know why, he just told his tech, hey, he said, go get those drumsticks that I was just using, bring them to me. And he gave me one of them, and he signed it, and he signed my shirt, and he signed his face in the CD booklet. And then there was a little kid. I mean, this kid couldn't have been more than 5 years old, if that, fully dressed like the cat, man. He had the whiskers on, he had the makeup on, he had everything from head to toe, the drummer outfit, like to the letter. And Eric gave the other drumstick to that little kid. But he just stood, just talking and shooting the shit, and in my mind, it's like what Shake was saying. Don't walk up and be like, yeah, you're much taller in person. In my mind, you guys aren't as mean as they said you were going to be. Like,
Right. Yeah.
But
'cause- oh, okay.
go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
Well, like I said, because like I said, with the pictures, like I said, I mean, because they also had like photo booths, like I guess in some of the Myers house, whatever. But I get a chance to do that. But I made these pictures, and I got the one with Nick Castle right here. I got this one done, a 20 by 30. So I'm making this a poster.
Oh, damn.
Let's go, dude. I saw that earlier. That's dope.
Yeah. So I made this. I'm making this a poster. Of course, there's Michael up there, so I got him in the Myers house. Of course, I got the one with James Jew. I did this one 16 by 20. Me and Shay. So yeah, I did this one 16 by 20, and then I just made this one here. I might get this later, but with Daniel Harris in front of the Halloween 4 Myers house.
That's dope.
So I got a question. Like, how is Nick Castle with all of this at this point? Like, and what I mean by that is, very rarely does Mark Hamill and what's the nigga name that plays Han Solo?
Harrison Ford. Yeah.
He doesn't go. He been trying to get out of the Star Wars thing for a long ass time, right? He wanted them to kill Han Solo off a long ass time ago. No, you straight. And so it's rare that he goes to like the conventions and stuff. Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley, Childish Gambino, you're probably not going to see them because they're just so busy doing other stuff, right? But did anybody appear to, I don't want to say phoning it in, but maybe they do so many of these, it kind of just seemed like old hat to them? Or did anybody seem like they were just kind of sick of being known for just this one thing? Like, I do have other credits, but that's what I like about Ken Foray. Like, he did so much cool shit. There's a difference in being arrogant and then kind of getting tired of everybody just calling you. As soon as Daniel Radcliffe walked by, everybody is saying Harry. I'm pretty sure nobody on the street is like, hey, that's Tressler from Now You See Me. You know what I'm saying? So it just makes me wonder, like, did anybody have that kind of thing? Because this obviously goes back 50 years.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know. I mean, like, Nick Castle seemed like he loved to be there. Nick Castle role is mainly the only role he's been in is Michael Myers.
Yep.
It's Shape, and he of course did the cameos and the Halloween Kills and 18 and Ends, but he does more like directing and stuff like that. So with him being he also directed Major Pain, which I did not know that.
No way.
He was part of Major Pain because he actually had a Major Pain poster there to have so he could sign it. Yeah, so he did something with Major Pain. So
I was watching that the other day. That scene where Bam Bam Bigelow rolled up on him.
Oh,
but so you have that, and then what is it? James Ducorn seemed like he was cool being there. Like same thing with Kane Hodder. I'd say even like I say because you had the woman who played Judith Myers. She was there, and that's her like main role she's done was Judith Myers. But of course, she promotes all that on her Facebook page, everything. She's always posting pictures of herself like in like a little white T-shirt, doing like Judith Myers things, whatever. She's always doing photos like that. And then of course you also had the young Michael who played the original Michael, the young Michael. He was there. Like he seems like because I don't think I've ever seen him anything else, but he was there. Like a lot of people that I think they wanted to be there and they were happy to be there. They know, hey, this is the character that they know me as. So I'm going to embrace this. I mean, you have some actors that, hey, I've done other things. You don't got to keep bringing up this thing. Okay, I was Texas. I was this way.
Harrison Ford.
They seem like legit pretty awesome with what they were doing.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing because what is it, Dawn of the Dead? Aaron, would you say it was Day of the Dead that Ken Foray was like the news reporter in that joint?
That was the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead remake.
So yeah, I'm saying for him to just, cause it's like that's what I was saying when I was watching Horror Noir, and like I said, I only knew him from Keenan and Kel, and then that scene in Halloween, and I was like, he's on here talking about like black horror. Not that he doesn't, like the genre or whatever, but I was like, everybody else they had been interviewing had been in more than one, but then they start talking to Miguel Nunez. I haven't seen him in any other horror movie except the Friday where he got killed. So I was like, well, okay, they were talking to him about that one thing, then cool.
And
then
Scooby Doo.
Right, but he didn't get killed in that. And then
No, he was funny in that though.
he was funny in that. And I'm looking at like Ken Foray sits down there talking to him, and then like this big ass list comes up of like all these different things that he's been in, and I'm like, when did this? How old is this guy? Like, when did this happen? Like I never knew that he had done like so much stuff, man. So it would be super cool, like, you know, to meet those guys. That's why I was saying I might have to go to Power Morphicon over a horror convention, because like, you know, there was my teenage years. I tried to run from the Power Rangers, like I never liked it or whatever. Nope, that shit caught back up to me. Like,
You know what?
It's crazy for me now as I was then.
I mean, like if I ever like went to like a Power Ranger thing, whatever, I probably won't go now because my favorite Ranger he passed away. So I
JDF.
Yeah.
Okay, let me talk about this real quick. Just real quick. Like I gotta hijack the stream just to say this because you say he's your favorite. Anthony is completely oblivious. Like he don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
No, I totally know what you're talking about. Green Ranger dude.
The
green and white Ranger.
Can we talk about how he pulled up and beat the shit out of 5 people by himself?
Well, see,
in their own Megazord. Like he whooped their ass so hard that they demorphed.
Yeah.
No, he had the like the little dagger joint, but it was like a flute, and he was
shit out all of them.
And he was playing it, but his mouth, like the mouthpiece wasn't open, but he was still blowing. Like it didn't make any sense.
It's a power,
but
the thing it projected his voice into it.
Dude, I was like,
it made no sense.
Yeah, Green Ranger was always the best because he got Kimberly and because and because he had his own Megazord. Yeah, and it would look like Godzilla, and I was like, this is dope.
Yeah, I remember Walter E. Jones, who plays Zach, the Black Ranger from Mighty Morphin. He was talking about how they just took everything that was popular, robots, dinosaurs, and martial arts, and just like, here, we're just going to market this to kids. But what he was saying was he started to notice, he's like, you know, is Power Rangers on some, you know, on some bullshit? Like the black guy had the black rain, had the black costume, the Asian chick had the yellow, like the Native American dude had the red costume, you know. And
when the American had the red costume, it was the white guy who had the red costume.
Rocky was a Native American.
Native American.
Yeah.
Well, wait. No, you had Jason the first one. Jason was a Red Ranger, and then you had.
But I think Rocky had came on right before Walter E. Jones left, and then Adam became the Black Ranger. I'm not sure what the actor's name is, but
because both Jason, Rocky,
Aisha,
not Jason, Jason and the other one, they were there and then they left, and then of course
it was Jason, it was Trini, and it was Zach.
Yeah, all 3 of them left, and they got replaced.
Then it was Adam, Aisha, and Rocky came in because they're the ones in the Mighty Morphin movie. But imagine how dope that Mighty Morphin movie would have been if Tommy had like reverted back to the Green Ranger powers to fight Ivan Ooze. Oh, that shit would have been so clean. Like that would have been just to
awesome.
See that that aesthetic. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love that movie. Like
Vikings just misses fucking.
I love that movie. I love it.
Jesus Christ, this game looked like it was over.
God.
Okay, my bad.
Like,
fuck. So were you guys more Power Rangers than Ninja Turtles, or both pretty dead?
A little bit of both.
All of them, man.
Yeah. I think I like Ninja Turtles just a tad bit more because like I just grew up watching those first 2 movies. Like we had the VHSs. I mean, we had the Power Ranger movie or whatever. And like every time we go over the babysitter, the 2 things I remember at the babysitter, it was always Power Rangers and The Great Mouse Detective. Dude, that was a good fucking movie.
What about 3 Ninjas?
Rest in peace to Vincent Price, man, doing the voice of that, man.
Oh, dude, 3 Ninjas too. Yeah, I remember watching. We go to the video store. I'd rent 3 Ninjas like all the fucking time, dude. Yeah.
You know what? I enjoy 3. It was funny because with 3 Ninjas, I wonder how that happened because you had the first 3 Ninjas and then they were there, right? Then you had the second one, and then who was it? It was Rocky, and then Tum Tum was 2 different actors, but Colt stayed the same.
Yeah.
Then they did 3 Ninjas 3, but then
High
Rocky
Noon at Mega Mountain.
came back. So it was like, whoa, what were they? in that time?
I need-
Why did they change from the second one and then back to the original and the third one?
I need y'all to put me on game.
Hmm?
I need y'all to put me
Three
on
ninjas?
game.
What do you mean put you on game?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Let me
The three ninjas.
let me
he's talking about.
Caucasianize.
Yeah.
Let me Caucasianize my
Okay.
phrasing.
You ever seen
And,
Two Ninjas?
can you all please elaborate more details about the film Three Ninjas to a young black man who didn't see it?
You never
That
saw
make more
Three
sense.
Ninjas?
It was just three punk ass
It
kids. that were
was
like-
basically like Karate Kid, but instead of just one person, it was three guys. And they're
yeah,
ninjas.
and there's a little more comedy in there and shit. It was way more comedic, but it was just fun. It was
What year is this? What year is it from?
ooh,
Like
early
93 to
early
97 or something
90s.
like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
But three martial arts taught grandchildren take down an arms dealer on his cargo ship. It is
wasn't
See, I knew Aaron was gonna give me the real spill. Y'all niggas talking about, oh, it's just Karate Kid with three people. No.
wasn't Hulk Hogan?
Oh
in
damn,
one of them?
Anthony, they boxing on the game. You
it's
see
in the
it?
third one.
Yeah, that's what I
No,
thought.
he
Yeah.
was in the fourth one.
Whatever the mountain one was, right, or something.
That was the fourth one.
So
That was a whole new cast of.
No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That was the fourth one.
Question. So about the back to the Ninja Turtle thing real quick. What was the I know what you're talking about. It's guys in costumes and stuff. I know what you're talking about. But what's the one? It's animated, but it came out like maybe mid 2000s, probably maybe right before me and you met, where like Raphael was like in a kitchen and there was like a little, I don't know what it was, but
Yeah.
it was whooping his ass. And like
Yeah, that was just
they had-
TMNT, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
I think like 2007, 2008.
they had
Love
the
that one.
Bam Balam roll Black Bennett. They had that playing in the background. He was getting his ass whooped. Like,
So that's not.
Well, what's
That's
crazy
not-
about that one is the TMNT movie that was actually supposed to be a sequel to the trilogy.
Yep.
really?
Hmm.
So why? Wait. So the first two are animated as well, or you mean the live action joint?
The live action ones.
So this was going to be a live action movie too, and then
No,
they just went with animation?
no, they're going to do animation, but it's actually a sequel to. It's part of the trilogy. The the TMNT Secret of the Use, and then the TMNT like back in time when they went back like in the samurai ages.
Turtles in Time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they did the TMNT cartoon, which actually is supposed to be a sequel to all three of them.
Which one's the one where Diesel was the voice of Shredder?
I think
Is that Turtles in Time?
No, that was the second one. Where he's
yeah, I think it was the second one. Yeah, when he's all beefed. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the second one.
Yep.
When Kevin Nash did, Aaron Xavier Woods said when he first met Kevin Nash, you're like, he was the longest reigning champion in WWE history in the entire 90s decade. And Xavier Woods said when he met him, I was like, fuck all that. What was it like playing Shredder? Like, and do you guys remember? I haven't seen those movies in a long time. I don't know if it was ever explained in one of those OG movies that Master Splinter gave everybody like a weapon that they wouldn't be proficient with at the beginning, so they would have to work harder to
That was never
use it.
that was never explained in the movies. That was never explained in the movies.
Okay, because I remember I had
comic.
the TMNT game, and it was y'all might remember this. It was on Game Boy, but you could like connect your Game Boy to a GameCube if you had it, and then you could play it on the TV. And it had so you had to beat it on like the hardest difficulty or whatever to unlock fighting Shredder. But there was 4 levels for each character, and it would be 3 red levels and 1 blue one. And the blue level it was some kind of vehicle. Michelangelo had the skateboard. Donatello had the hang glider. Leonardo had the the battering ram joint that they have. What's it called?
Like that van or whatever it is.
It's like a big ass like battering ram. It carries kind of like the shell cycle and their other weapons and all that kind of stuff. Like the vehicle level for Leo, he had that, and then Raph had the shell cycle. You had to race Casey Jones, cheating ass, on that level. And so that's when I really kind of like got into it. And I was looking at all these cool weapons, the side, the nunchucks, the katanas, and then I'm like, they gave my man a stick. Like, they just gave him a stick and say, "Here, go fight with this weak ass stick." Like, because y'all remember the cartoon like where everybody was like breaking these chains with their weapons, and it was like semi-realistic. Then it cut to Donatello just stabbing at it with the staff, and it broke the same like lock. They had to try to make it seem like the staff was just as strong as the other threes.
You know, but I tell you what, when it comes to Ninja Turtles, man, I just wish they stayed with the same damn storyline. I love it when Splinter is the pet rat of Matayoshi. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. You know, when they did Michael Bay once, he learned the martial arts from a damn book, and then in the new the TMNT Mutant Mayhem, he learned it from watching kung fu movies, and it's like, what? Like, okay, this was like Japanese, like Splinter's like Japanese, Turtles like ninjas, right? Ninjas, and Splinter is watching, and because his voice Jackie Chan, so he's watching like Third Chambers of Shaolin, the One-Armed Swordsman, my
Enter the Dragon type stuff.
All those movies are Chinese related, so I was like, whoa, you're kind of like mixing, the different Asian cultures. Like, I don't know, but then of course, then
Rogan doesn't give a shit about that.
But then what? And then Splinter is like falling in love with this creepy looking mutant thing and starts making out.
That was weird. That was weird.
The Michael Bay ones are the trash like live action looking ones, right? From 2014, somewhere around there.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they're not that bad.
I actually thought the first one was good. Second one, maybe not so much, but
the second one wasn't bad. But again, it's like they're like super freaking huge. Like,
yep.
Yeah.
Like the fight scene up on top of the building in the first one, fucking pretty dope. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Like, so
the chase down the avalanche, that was dope too.
Dude, it actually was really dope, dude.
Fun fact about that, like you guys know, because Tyler Perry was playing Baxter. I don't know if he was just on the second one or in both, or I can't remember. But
he's on the second one only.
Yeah,
so Gary Anthony Williams shaped Anthony. I don't know if y'all know who that is. Y'all know who that is? Gary Anthony Williams. Y'all ever seen?
I like the name. I'm not familiar though.
Y'all ever seen?
He was Smart Brother and Undercover Brother.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that, that's how I know him.
Yeah, Smart Brother, Undercover Brother. He did the voice of Uncle Ruckus on the Boondocks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's his voice. He was in Soul Plane. He's been in a lot of films, but anyway, he had auditioned for one of Tyler Perry's plays, and I guess he didn't sign, whatever this particular thing was that was going to give Tyler Perry permission to film like the prayer circles and just kind of like be filming the actors at random in like their own like private moments and shit, and he didn't like consent to that. So then all of a sudden Tyler Perry wanted nothing to do with him, never called him back, blah blah blah. So then Carl Jones, who was one of the like animators for the Boondocks, he's hanging out with Tyler Perry. He calls Gary Anthony Williams, come hang out with him. Then he thought back to that and he was like, wait, on second thought, maybe don't come down here. And then they ended up both being on the Ninja Turtles joint because Bebop and Rocksteady, like which one was Seamus, Aaron?
He was Bebop.
Rocksteady.
He was Bebop?
Yeah, he was Rocksteady, yeah.
So the other guy, so that's Gary Anthony Williams is Bebop then.
Yeah.
Like but I'm saying he said he had to interact at some point with Baxter, with Tyler Perry, and like it was all awkward because of the whole shit that had happened before where he didn't want to like talk to him and interact and stuff. And he was like, man, I never even thought twice about none of that shit. So if he's holding a grudge, like, I never knew nothing about it. But the fact that Tyler Perry almost walked off of doing a movie for, it was supposed to be like for kids, teenagers, whatever, because of some shit that happened, 20 years ago or whatever. I'm not going to let you film me and you didn't get permission and you like filming me when I'm just like sitting in the corner eating or trying to talk to somebody. You're filming everything. Nah, bro. Nah, I'm cool on that. Plus, I don't like Tyler Perry movies anyway.
What?
But, Shape, you don't watch nothing with black people in it. That was a nice try though.
What are you talking about?
When
what are you talking about?
you guys remember when the Ninja Turtles met the Power Rangers?
Yeah, I remember that one.
In space, that was dope.
Yeah, that was super cool. Like, Anthony, do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. Yeah, I do, but I never.
Get off of fantasy and talk to us.
Yeah, my buddies are all talking some shit, so I have to say some shit back. I'm sorry, but it's so like I'll just say this like real quick. It's so crazy how like you need players to like play really well in like one league, but then like you're playing against like the players that are like in connection with them, so you don't want them to play too well because then you're gonna lose your other games. It's just fucking crazy, dude.
Me and you got to rap about this fantasy thing because I don't know if there's one for the NBA, but the season tips off tomorrow, and I
there
want to
has
get in
to
on
be.
this if there is one. Because Aaron, what was that thing that you used? You remember you came and visited me in the hospital?
Yeah.
Do you still like use that, or is there a thing like for the NBA specifically that's like that? Because
No,
it was
for
like
multiple sports.
Yeah,
I
dude.
think it was called like Fan Fire or something like that, but it could have changed because that was almost like 10 years ago now.
That was
you should check
2015,
out
16.
Yahoo, dude. There has to be free leagues that you can just jump in. Like there's got to be public leagues or something like that.
Well, this thing that Aaron had,
my head.
I'm not even sure what it exactly what it was. It wasn't like a fantasy league or anything, but it was like it would say two teams are playing. It was like the Warriors and the Cavs finals was happening, right? And it was like which team
is most likely to do such and such, or
so you guys all talking about gambling, yeah. Yeah, I can tell you some gambling stuff, but I don't want you all to lose your money, and then all of a sudden you all come back to me and be like, "Yo,
like, no, I'm good."
Well, I mean,
DraftKings, dude. You can go underdog. You can go underdog fantasy, or DraftKings is really good, and that just means like establishing lineups for like the night and betting like whatever the hell you want to bet. But like I always.
This wasn't that though, because Aaron, you weren't like betting money on this, right? It was just like
you would get like points to like get like a gift card.
Why the hell play if you're not going to bet money?
Like because you don't want to lose it, Anthony.
But then you could have some fire lineups that win you some money. You know what I mean?
Sure. As long look, man. As long as the Lakers are not making it to the finals, man, we get you.
There's no way that's going to happen, man. There's no way that's going to happen. Anyways, I never saw Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I still haven't actually seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman. I need to see that animated movie.
You see that one? That's
I haven't seen it quite yet. That one actually isn't on HBO for some odd reason. All the other ones are on there, but that one's not on there. So it must be owned by somebody else.
I was going to say that probably is like Nickelodeon trying to like sneak in.
Oh, it probably is, yeah.
Because didn't Nickelodeon buy the rights, or they have the rights to the Power Rangers now, right? Like, I don't know if that has anything to do with Haim Saban. Like,
Netflix did, but Nickelodeon has the Ninja Turtles now, as far as I know. That could have easily changed in the past 5 minutes.
Nickelodeon still, but sure, right? But doesn't Nickelodeon still have the Power Rangers? Because like the last season of Power Rangers was exclusively on Nickelodeon. That's why they took them off. Remember, all the seasons were on Netflix. Now you can't watch them,
But I'm pretty sure they're back on Netflix.
I haven't.
Power Rangers?
Pretty sure. Their new season, like Cosmic Fury, I think is. I don't know if it's exclusively, but what I've heard, and Billy's back too.
Oh, word.
Mm-hmm.
Billy's.
So I want to check it out.
Dude, okay, I have an epic question. I saw this one on Instagram. This is a really good question, actually. So they were on a podcast and they were asking the question, what would you, if you had to choose one and get rid of everything else that was related to the other, never existed, Nickelodeon or Comedy Central? Cartoon Network, Cartoon Network, not Comedy Central. Cartoon
I was
Network.
Like, what? That is
yeah, Cartoon
those
Network
two together.
or Nickelodeon.
So
for me, it's an
whichever
easy
one
answer. Yep. Whichever
right,
one.
So like whichever one you don't pick is gone. Like that one's gone. Like
gone forever.
Completely.
Yep.
Yep. Cartoon Network. You up out of here, my boy.
Okay, nice. I can dig it.
Man.
I can dig it.
Cartoon Network is how I saw. It's how I saw like Batman the animated series. So I'm probably gonna go with Cartoon Network to stay.
Put on you, mate. Like,
well, Screamer, I says I haven't met any celebrities before. It blows my mind when some people could just go to them and just start talking to them like at these conventions without getting nervous.
Maybe
Yeah,
they like that.
I mean,
Maybe
some
some don't.
well, the thing is, like, it depends on like the people. If people go to every single convention there is and meet the same person constantly, you start getting used to. It's like, hey man, what's up, man? Hey, I met you last year, man. Remember me? You know what I mean? So it's like constantly like that. I mean, there's like,
Grizzly, bitch.
like, remember me? You remember me? Especially when
bitch. Remember me from last year?
So remember me? And the guy, it's like, oh yeah, you're that guy. Yeah.
You're that guy.
Yeah, you're the guy from that thing.
Like,
I'm the guy.
What? Okay, wait. You're the guy again. Like,
Hey, but let's I got this picture here. I said, just look how tall this dude is. Like, oh my god, like, look at this dude. Like a dang giant.
Damn, look at that fucking. I'm telling anybody that's watches the playback, watching right now, dude. Cavity Killers is the place to go when it comes to like attire, like horror attire. Like
I was just about to say, how does this dude have pants?
Dude, like, 34, 36 longs, baby.
Jeez, man. Because look, I'm 6 foot. I said, look at this. Like, I'm like right underneath his chin, pretty much.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. I wish I could have went and stood next to James Jude. That would have been pretty cool, man. He seems like a really cool ass dude.
You didn't get to meet James Jude?
I didn't, dude. Okay, so this I had Steelbooks, and I literally I had a 2018 Steelbook, and I got it signed by Mike and Jay instead. So I figured I'd wait till I figured he'd probably be there next year. So I was like, I don't know.
I gotta say, Mike and Jay were freaking awesome, man. They're freaking
dude,
awesome.
they were fucking cool as shit, man. Like, goddamn, they're like us, dude. Like that's inspiration on like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. When I first got on YouTube, I was like, okay, just talk very fluently and very, just be very considerate and everything. I'm not saying that I'm not, but I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, it just like it. I don't know. It's cool to see people being themselves and not like having filters and shit on them and stuff like I feel like people have like questioned like if they're really legit, like who they are on camera and shit. Is that really who they are? It's like, no, dude, that is exactly who the fuck they are. And dude, everybody that we were hanging out with, like all the people that came to like hang out with them, it was like maybe a handful of people, but like all those people were cool as shit too. Like this kid I met, Cooper, cool as fuck. His girlfriend was cool as shit. Like Mike and Jay's wives, super fucking cool, man. Like they were, good shit, man.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to see somebody all buttoned up and just kind of like faking the funk and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's like going back real quick to my thing. It's like, if Paul Stanley didn't want to take a picture with me or whatever, I would much rather him have been like that than like faking, like, oh yeah, you know what I mean, and not really want to have done it, because he was walking past, he was signing the stuff, and I was like, yo, can we take a picture? And he was like, we'll do pictures in a minute. And then he went over to like the next group of people that he was signing stuff, and then he took his film. So I was like, but but I would much rather him just like be who you are, bro. Like, that's not it's not taking any skin off my back. But what's your answer, Shape, Anthony, for the Nickelodeon Cartoon Network?
Aaron, you drinking some Shine, dude, or what?
No, I'm drinking some water.
I always like Cartoon Network, man.
Huh?
You're gonna go
Samurai Jack.
So you're gonna go with Cartoon Network, Shape?
Yeah, man. You do because you had Samurai Jack. You had freaking
Toonami, man.
I never loved that
baby.
I got to watch Dragon Ball Z on there.
Batman Beyond.
Code Lyoko.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Courage is fucking top tier, man.
Oh, Courage is definitely top tier. But dude, it's Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is the best answer. Toonami was it, dude. Like Toonami for me, when I saw that shit, I was like having seizures watching Toonami so much because oh, dude.
Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, man. That lineup was cool.
Dexter's Laboratory, dude. Let's go.
Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory,
Johnny Bravo,
Ed,
right?
Eddie, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Johnny Bravo, all back to back. Like, that shit. But for me, what happened was we moved to Missouri and I started watching Nickelodeon. That was right at the time Timmy Turner came out. And Timmy Turner just became my favorite fucking cartoon, man.
Oh, dude. Timmy Turner, and then Danny Phantom. I always liked Danny Phantom.
Yeah, like Danny Phantom is dope.
Like Bruce, what's his name? Butch Hartman. He doesn't miss very much. Like the only thing that he missed on was that weak ass tough puppy shit. That's the only thing I think that he missed on. But everything else, he
Paw Patrol, or what are you talking about?
like.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Got his ass.
You don't remember that? He didn't get shit. Do you remember that? You don't remember that cartoon called Tough Puppy?
Yeah.
I don't.
It was like a spy.
I remember, like,
good.
When it comes to Nickelodeon, I remember like Rugrats, Doug, and
never like none of that shit. You know what? I'll tell you why Nickelodeon for me though. Like because of Get the Picture, Figure It Out, Finders Keepers, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? All that,
like,
dude. Yeah, there were some bangers, man.
All that, yeah. Kenan and Kel, like fucking the Amanda Show, Drake and Josh, like that's where it was. Like
Big Time
live
Rush.
action. Dude.
See, but I really liked Disney Channel when it came compared to like Nickelodeon though. Boy Meets World, fucking
oh man, Boy Meets World,
Even
dude.
Stevens,
Smart Guy,
Raven.
Smart Guy.
Smart Guy, dude. Oh my god, I miss Smart Guy.
Hey, it's if you have Disney Plus, it's on Disney Plus.
Nice. I just gotta say real quick, what's up, Sarah? I saw she jumped in the chat.
Oh, she did.
Lamont Bentley, he passed away. He was on Smart Guy, right? What's up, Sarah? Aaron, you seen Tales from the Hood, right?
I have not. I also didn't know that they had a sequel until I watched Florida Noir today.
There's actually 2 sequels.
Well, fuck.
There's Tales from the Hood 2 and 3.
Oh, I only thought there was one. Nice.
Lamont Bentley. So Shape and Anthony, y'all seen the original Tales from the Hood?
Definitely.
So you know. Well, Anthony, you know the guy that they're trying to like reform at the end,
the third one,
like the final. It's the final act before Mr. Sims kind of reveals himself.
What was the storyline? I'm sorry.
It's the one where it's the one where the guy, they were trying to reform him, and so they had taken him. You know, he was locked in prison, and they put him next to like a KKK. Like a former KKK member, and the KKK guy was talking to him like, you know, you're killing black people and stuff, like, you know, every day, you know, out there doing all that gang stuff, and you're killing people every day, but you got a problem with me killing black people. What am I doing differently than what you're doing? And so they were going to do like this aggressive like therapy. Remember they tied him to the table and they put all the stuff on him, and the table was spinning around, and they were going to like try to aggressively like you know, like work him out of, you know, like reform him from being like a gangster and everything. Like that's the guy who was playing Crazy K is Lamont Bentley, and I know that he was on Smart Guy because I know me and Aaron talk about that a lot, that particular show. But I'm saying he died, I think, in a car accident like somewhere there after Smart Guy went off. But it's that last like little story. Because it's after the one with the dolls. Remember the guy gets killed by the dolls?
Definitely.
It's the one directly after that.
See, I was trying to think.
I was Sims revealing himself.
So I remember the first one, and then I remember the politician with the dolls, and then I remember the one with the young kid is like
with David Allen Greer and Paula J. Parker.
Well, there's like an abusive dad or something, or the boyfriend.
Yeah, That's David Allen Greer.
That one. Yeah, and you were sitting here saying this one, and I'm like, what was the last one? I couldn't think of it. I'll have to look it up.
So yeah, it's called I think it might just be called Crazy K. But the 3 guys who go into Mr. Sims' funeral parlor looking for the shit.
Yep.
You find out that they are the ones who actually, you know, they had something to do with Crazy K having this, like, you find out it's all like this visceral moment that he's having as he's laying there about to die, where he's sitting in a room and it's just like a strobe light, like just a white light flashing, and it's the souls of people that he's killed. You know, like a little girl came in and she was like, you know, you killed me. Like, what, you know, I was just in my room playing with my dolls and then a bullet hit me. What did I do? You know, and he was like, well, the bullet ain't got no name on it. He was trying to defend like being a killer and, you know, all that stuff. And they were trying to make him see all the crimes and stuff that he committed. But I know he was on Smart Guy and he was on Moesha, if y'all remember that. And then like right after that ended, he died in a car accident. I think
Was that
31.
was that TJ's older brother?
On Smart Guy.
Smart guy? Was that him?
Yes.
Holy
Hold on,
shit!
let me
I
look.
didn't know that.
I know that.
Damn,
Let me look.
that
Hold
is
on.
wild.
I wonder how Mo's doing, man. You don't see Mo in anything really.
Oh, I love Mo, dude. Oh my
Oh.
god, he was so funny.
Let me see if
I love it when TJ was the mascot. He was the penguin.
Yeah. Dude, man, Mo was, dude, my favorite episode of a Smart Guy was the the Lizzie Borden one.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's got so basically Mo and TJ's dad are outside barbecuing. They're constantly barbecuing, and I just love that. He's like paprika, sea salt. They're out there cooking and stuff. It's like below zero. They're out there like still cooking, like you know. Oh my god, I love that freaking shit.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I got it confused. Aaron, the guy you're talking about, the older brother, Marcus Henderson, that was TJ's older brother. That is the guy from Get Out. Remember, he was the groundskeeper guy. He was the grandfather, the dude that was running and hit that hard, right?
Oh, dude. Please
that
explain to me that scene when you guys first saw that movie. Was that like the score just made that scene where it's just like he's like
bro.
nonchalantly like about to hit this cig, and then all of a sudden he looks up and this guy's just like darting at him, and you're just like, darting, like the fucking like they got like this like violin string that they're just like ding ding, and just like
But you know what's crazy is that Chris didn't even move. He just kind of stood there, you know.
Oh yeah, dude. I would have been like, I probably would have fucking. Actually, I when we were out at the bar, I actually did I hit my first punch machine, which actually is not as easy as it looks. Actually, it wasn't that bad, but I just feel like I was too damn tall for the thing, so I'm like punching down at it. But I didn't crack 900. I got 880, but like, yeah, it was fun. But
this is
that's what I'm saying. I would have done if.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Okay. He is one of those. Yeah, one of the guys. Yeah.
So I know for sure he probably had the cameos on Smart Guy. He definitely was on Moesha. And then like I said, the him and
okay, so he was the main actor that died.
Okay. One I don't know what this made me think of it, but I recently rewatched like the Kill compilation from the '88 the Blob remake. That was a mistake because when I saw that when I was way too young, it messed me up. And then I'm like, yep, I remember every single one of these. How am I going to sleep tonight?
Dude, Aaron, that's so dope you're bringing that movie up because that movie's super underrated. Those practicals are so cool. Like it's like a combination of like
Thing, dude. It's wild.
It's exactly like the Thing. It's like the Thing meets Killer Clowns from outer space, and it's like it's so fucking cool, man. Yeah.
So two things then because I'm really interested, like because I remember that movie too, Aaron. Like I'm sure all of us have. We got into horror at like maybe a young age. I'm sure it's obviously it's not the same age for all of us, all that stuff. But like for you guys in particular, I think each one of us probably has a story. What was the one that was a scene? I don't know if that's what it was for you, Aaron, in particular, excuse me, that you saw like that's the one that like it fucked you up and it made you kind of like not want to watch scary movies for a while, or it could be the opposite. You saw it and it fucked you up, and then it made you like more interested. You know what I mean? Because Shape is just insane like that. But I know all three of us, or the three of you guys, like all have a story like that too. Like I have, like for me, like I think I told you guys before. Like for me, it was the Child's Play thing, because back then, like in Georgia, one of my parents had to be with me at the hospital when I would be admitted. And when I was really young, I was getting like blood transfusions and stuff. And this is the 90s. So like, it wasn't like the best, they weren't really double checking stuff like they should have been, and I quite a few times had like, like toxicity and got infections, and I broke out with these lesions all over my legs, on both legs from like ankle to knee, on both legs, because the blood was contaminated that they gave me. It wasn't as clean of a process as it is now. And some like, and I had to get the new blood because of the sickle cell in theory it would help, right? So back then though, this is before there was like private rooms, and obviously it's before there was a plasma TV for everybody. You had that TV on the crane joint, and my mom is on the left side of the bed, and she had pulled the TV where it was like here, and she was like in a chair, just kind of like back. She was asleep. I'm in the bed, I'm asleep, but the TV is like right here where we both can see. And I wake up to that image. I told you, I can't remember what's the guy's name that went to Tiffany's trailer, and he was like a businessman. He was all like put together and stuff, but he was trying to act like he was all gothic and shit in Bride of Chucky.
Damien,
You know what I'm talking about?
Is his name
Damien.
in the movie? Yeah,
Alexis Arquette. So there's that scene where she like puts Chucky. She had him on like the pentagram, and then remember when she went back, he was gone, and that's when she knew like the voodoo, the gree worked, right? And so then he's sitting. She puts him like he's handcuffed to the bed, and she puts Chucky on top of him, and he's like talking all that shit, and then that's when Chucky like hits him with the 180 like exorcist joint, and it's when he starts talking shit, and
it's not
I woke up.
It's how you use it.
It's how you use it, asshole, right? Like, and I had two moments. It was the one when he hit Aunt Maggie when he threw that hammer and hit her, and she went flying out the window in the high-rise joint in Chicago. That, and then that scene where he was sitting on dude's chest, but it was because he had all the lines and stitches and shit in his face, made him even more scary to 4-year-old me, 4.5-year-old me. So I woke up like screaming. And my mom was like, "Boy, what's wrong with you? What's wrong? Like she thought something was wrong with me physically, And I was like, "Look at that!" Like, And she was like, "Oh, you." She was like, you got scared because of that." And I was like, "This wouldn't have even been on if you hadn't have been, But she's sitting up there. My mom was the first person to be like, "Oh, I don't like horror movies. It's scary. I ain't liking that." But I tell you, most of my knowledge and like exploration into the horror genre came from her. Like one day we're on again, maybe next week for the Halloween party, Shape, if you don't mind, I have my mom jump on and tell you guys the story of when she snuck in to see The Exorcist.
That's fine.
When she was like
that'd be dope.
Like and so because obviously she could tell it far better than I can, but there's some just to see like what that was like. There's a clip on YouTube that I guess got preserved from some news station. It was in Texas where there was a like news reporter in the theater as people were coming out from seeing it the first time in 1974, and there was interviewing people like what did you think of this? What did you think of The Exorcist? And the one guy was like, "Oh, it's great, man. I'm going back to see it again." There was other people like, "It's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life." Some people were like, "Man, I walked out. I couldn't do it." And there was one person in the corner of the theater like actually passed out, and they were waiting on the ambulance to come get this person. Like, you laughing? I'm being dead serious. Like. Deceased booty, like dead ass. Like, leave the dog alone. Like, because bite him. Go ahead. What's when you bite him?
Well, I mean,
like,
if I could ask you a question, like for me, like
yeah, that's a good question though, dude. I like it. I got my answer. I'll let Shape go first. Yep.
For me,
so mine is Chucky, just for overall.
I dig it. Like nothing really like when I see like horror films. Like, I mean. When I was a kid, like young, like Chucky always freaked me out. But like I mean, when I watched horror films, like Halloween, like the first one I actually watched, and then of course I watched Jason, and of course Evil Dead and stuff like that. But like the only thing, like really, like is not even technically not really horror related. It's pretty much because my dad always watched. He always watched like Jesus movies on Telemundo, and yeah, so that's basically like Jesus movies in Spanish. And I think the only thing that really like messed me up was like seeing Jesus get tortured and stuff, and then that really kind of you're youngest kid, you're seeing that really messed me up. And then there was
Jesus, Shape, you went really dark, man. No,
sometimes it doesn't take a horror movie to mess you up.
I think it was like 5. I think it was like 4 or 5 when he was watching that stuff. I mean, come on, you're 4 or 5. You're seeing Jesus get whipped and everything else, and then
it would be not good.
Like and getting hammered across. I mean, I was like freaking out when I was watching that, and then there's one other movie he was watching. It was some movie. It was some kind of horror film, but of course it was dubbed in Spanish. And the only thing I remember of that movie was there was a lady like in the like in her panties, whatever, just kind of like on some kind of table or something, and she's like bringing the guy, and she's like, "Hey, take your," basically she's having to like take his clothes off. So he took his shirt off, took his pants off, but he had his like boxers so on or something, right? And he walks up to her, about to get busy. All of a sudden, he like steps in something. I was like, there's like this hole in the ground, and then he's like starts sinking into it. And he's like, it's like he reached out to have him help him, and she's like just like smiling, like smiling like that. And he goes in this thing, and he's like getting all of this stuff like over him, and his like face disappears, and like the thing turns into like a clock. And I'm like, that freaked me out. I don't know what movie that even was, but that freaked me out.
Interesting. I was really trying. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of what the hell movie that was, dude. Because I was like, I bet I'll know it. That's I have to look it up. I like Conrad's thing right there. I was actually gonna say that.
What, Yu-Gi-Oh was a shit? Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh was a shit.
No, actually, I didn't really much watch that show. I watched it a few times. I was more like into the old school stuff, more like Gundam Wing or something like that, and Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network. But I was gonna say I've never seen Passion of the Christ. I've never seen the film because I can't watch. Like I just feel like I won't be able to watch it. To be completely honest,
I feel like it'd be like Schindler's List. You're like, why am I?
That was even rough to watch, man. That movie was way rough to watch.
You're like, I need to like.
My bad, y'all. I had to go to the bathroom because my bladder was like, if you don't, I'm about to embarrass you.
So Shape said Telemundo.
I heard him. I unplugged from the computer so I could still hear him.
So for me personally, okay, what the hell was I really scared of? Dude, it was hands down. It was Chucky, dude. Like I was actually gonna ask you guys like what like Donnie had mentioned like who kind of like brought you guys into like horror films. Well, I was always like kind of following my older brother. So he was scared to death of Chucky, but yet he wanted to watch all the time. And so I'm sitting there watching, and I'm like, God damn, this doll looks creepy as shit. But I was very intrigued with the films, but yet I could find like comedic relief in them, like for sure. But the one film, hands down, had to be Jaws. I love the water, but like watching that film, it just scared the absolute shit out of me, dude. Like I would just like, it made me dread. Like sometimes I would be like having like this bad like nightmare where like I'd wake up on the couch and I'd be out in the middle of the ocean and like just just scare the hell out of me, dude. Yeah, like it was just I hated it. I always it was like a dude, I'm telling you right now, to this day, the worst nightmares that I'll have is being like stranded out in like the water or some shit like that.
Mine's zombies. I have zombie dreams all the time.
let me just say, just real quick, just an interjection. Like, it's funny that you said that, Anthony, because I remember me and you were talking on like that first stream I was on with you and Conrad. We were talking. Remember, I was making that comparison of like Jaws and Nope. You remember we were having that? I feel like when I hear a lot of people talk about Jaws, they always sit up there and say that it's not scary. I hear so many people say that, but then to hear you actually say that it scared you, I'm like, yes, you know what I mean? Because I felt that same way. Again, another movie that my mom went to see. She was, a year older. She went to go see Jaws and scared of it. She don't beach to this day. Like, from that was 40, about to be 50 years ago in a couple years. So, it goes to show you like just how some stuff like how it plays on your, on your mind. And like, I think it's interesting that so far, three of us have said Chucky, and I wonder if that could be because and Aaron, I'm gonna get to you, but just in the throes of all of us, when we were younger, you probably had some kind of stuffed animals or something around when you were a kid, when we were like children, or in our case as guys, we didn't have dolls, we had action figures with the karate chop action, and something about, this is obviously before Toy Story, so something about seeing the doll come to life, and this one was a homicidal, fucking killer. versus when we get to Toy Story and they're just like good little toys or whatever. It's completely different, right? And how it sets in your mind. And so,
yeah. Okay, my bad. Keep going, Donnie. I'm sorry. I got something to say that after you're done. Yep.
No, I was just saying that I think maybe for us, that is why, like, psychologically, it bothered us because we had stuffed animals or we played with like action figures. And so just kind of the thought of when I leave the room, this motherfucker might be moving. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I left the rock over there. How the hell did he get over here? You know what I mean?
First off, I just wanted to say something to Horror Game. He's gaming in the chat. He said the Texas Rangers going to the World Series. That's dope. Fuck the Astros. I was glad that they lost. I'm probably going for the Phillies though, just because the gang from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Not sorry. I know Conrad's from Houston. I know you're probably going for the Astros. Sorry, dude, but they got caught for cheating, and I don't condone any of that shit. So,
yep. I'm with you. Yep, they could still get that.
So, dude, and the thing. Okay, so going backing off what you were talking about Child's Play, the thing that was so creepy about that film, dude, it was the animatronics. The animatronics in that doll just seemed so fucking lifelike. Like I've watched Puppet Master 1,000 times, and to me, I was like, oh yeah, that shit isn't scary. Like they're not that like they're dolls like running around and stuff. Not that scary.
Conrad, Child's Play 3 messed me up.
Oh, dude, Child's Play 3 is it's just like Scream 3. It's like the most rewatchable, man. Child's Play 3 is so much fun. And
when the freaking guy dove on the actual grenade to save him, I was like, that dude's the G.
On the grenade,
that dude is a hero.
Yeah. Fuck, I can't think of it.
He paintballs with the real bullet. Like,
how's it going, Bearded Entertainment?
What's up, Eric?
Hey,
dude, you want to talk about somebody that's got some great fucking knowledge about fucking horror shit, man? Dude, Eric's the dude, man. He's got some good knowledge on like a lot of like out of the box kind of shit. Like,
yeah. Can I say something real quick?
It is your stream.
All right, I'm gonna say something. I want to say, you know what? You know what's more scary than Jaws, in my opinion.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. He's gonna say Tremors. I guarantee it.
No, it ain't Tremors.
He's got a point.
You know what's more scary than Jaws? Anaconda.
Yeah, I didn't like that
Anaconda. Also messed me up.
Yeah, I didn't
now
like
that I think about it, more and more movies, I'm like, yep, that one messed me up.
Hey, you know what? I saw Anaconda in the theaters, man, and I'm like, oh my god,
no, sir. The dude jumped. And then he caught him in midair. I'm like, you're dead.
The creepiest thing with Anaconda is like when he killed the guy on the boat, and all of a sudden like he's in the water, and then the Anaconda swim in the water. All of a sudden you see like when his body comes around, the guy's like body's in there. And it's like when the whole thing like the outline of his body is like, oh my god. And then when he he ate Angelina Jolie's dad, and then he like regurgitated him and spit him out. I'm like, oh my god.
Dude, the craziest parts in that film, it's the water. It's the water, man. The water is the creepiest shit. Like, man, like you just
you can't see anything.
The coolest parts of that movie was when the dude climbed the waterfall and got snatched out of the fucking air, and then when she was climbing the fucking steam fucking vent or whatever, like the chimney or whatever, and then the fucking thing's on fire and all falls down. I'm just like, Jesus, dude, that movie actually wasn't that bad.
Dude, I used to watch the movie all the time. You know what's funny?
The second one, Hunt for the Blood Orchids, my shit.
Yeah, that sucked. But
come on.
I want to right now. That movie sucked. Oh my god!
He just said, "Fuck your opinion." Like he did.
I'm gonna say why. Okay, now with the first Anaconda, it was great because they actually had the look of the Anaconda, especially with his head and everything else.
Very true.
Very true. And they also use like CGI and practical effects with the Anaconda. When it came to the blood orchid, it looked like a CGI snake. It looked like a regular snake. Didn't have the facial features. Didn't have the
shit out of me.
How everything was. It had none of that.
It looks like
it looked like if somebody took like one of the toy snakes and said, "Here you go, we'll put this in the movie."
It was believable to me at the time.
It wasn't for me. It's whatever. When I saw the movie, I was like that does not look like an anaconda. That's not like the facial features of an anaconda.
The freaking mating pit too. I was like, nope, I would die.
Could we
like, hey guys, what's up?
Okay, here's a question. What do you think is the most iconic movie prop of all time? I'm thinking it's Bruce, dude. I'm thinking it's Jaws, man. I'm thinking it's
Iconic movie prop.
Russ,
I will say what got
no.
me into horror was definitely the remake of The Mummy, and then ever since, because it was action
those
and it was
movies were
scary.
absolute fire, dude.
Actually,
yeah, with
can
Brandon
you,
Fraser. Yeah, that was a good one. I love that one.
Oh, they were the first.
Hey, well, fun fact about that, right? So it came out in 1999, and I was actually 8 at the time, and I'm like, oh, The Mummy. So
Damn.
at the time, I was fascinated. I love Egypt. I was fascinated with Egypt. I want to be
same.
Egyptologist. When I grew up, I want to be Egyptologist, archaeologist. I want to go out there and Egypt and do all this stuff. Right? I was so I mean, I watched every single, Discovery Channel.
Documentary, History Channel, yeah.
Out the door, right? Well, I was so excited to see this movie, right? I was so excited to see this movie. I was like, so my mom ended up taking me, and then we took my cousins too with us. So we ended up going to the movie theater, and my grandma went with us. And literally, when I saw them basically like cutting his tongue off and wrapping him up and throwing the scarabs on him, I was like, nope. And I ended up leaving the theater, and my grandma sat out with me because the mom was like, well, I'm not leaving. So she ended up staying with my cousin. And I literally walked out of the theater and was seeing my grandma outside the theater just waiting until the movie was
I knew it was going to be the bug. They just burrow into you, and the guy's like, nope.
Yeah, I left the theater. But then what's funny was after that, and then I actually got it on VHS, and I watched the shit out of it. And then, of course, they released the game on PlayStation. And I bought the game on PlayStation. I played the crap out of that game.
Dude, you took it personally, dude. You were like, oh, okay, well, you're like, I got to get over this mountain, dude. Like, I got to get over this mountain of fear.
No, did that change your opinion of like Egypt? Like I'm saying, like your interest level in it dropped because of that, or are you still super into?
No, I still love Egypt, man. I still, dude, man. I mean, my knowledge of Egypt, man. I always want to go to Egypt. Like another like celebrity that I would love to meet will be Dr. Zahi Hawass. He's like the main controller of everything in Egypt. Like he's the main controller of everything.
So are they man-made or did aliens help?
Well, according to Dr. Zahi Hawass, there's physical evidence that there is the actual Egyptians built that pyramid because they actually have the stuff written on the walls on that says we are the people of Khufu, which was the pharaoh at the time. So yes, according to Dr. Hawass, I mean, honestly, it's funny too because somebody said something to Dr. Hawass like, "Hey, people say like the Atlanteans built this," and he say that is horseshit. That's bullshit. It's not. I mean, he goes off on people when they say that. Shit. He goes off. But yeah, I mean,
that is an African just like icon titan, if you will, of building, and like for that lime scale, that limestone scale to still be, of course it's not as shiny as it once was because it had like this kind of glow to it. For it to not, it doesn't have that, but for them to still be there, and I mean, of course there's viaducts in them so the fucking sand can shoot out and stuff, but for them to be built so perfectly that like you can't even like put a credit card in between, like the slabs. That's how perfectly that they are laid. Like that's always amazed me. Like it's topped off by quartz. And there's a lot of, I don't know if the doctor you're talking about, Shape, has ever talked about the theory. They always said that the Egyptians built in duality, right? So there's the Great Pyramid, and then there's the other two, right? Yeah. And so there's always been kind of a thing of, well, if they built in duality, then there's probably another one that maybe it was destroyed, or it's
no, actually the first pyramid that was built. Yeah. In Egypt, the very first pyramid that was built in Egypt was the Step Pyramid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was the first pyramid that was built. And actually, what's funny is, get this right, the pretty much the guy who actually helped build that pyramid, whatever, his name was actually Imhotep.
Yeah, but I'm saying that I don't know what that has to do with them building in duality. The theory being that there might be
it being the mummy, the name of the.
In the film, yeah. But I'm saying in the grand scheme of things, there's just a theory that there might have been another Sphinx, or just the fact that you got the refracting laser because the quartz at the top and the bottom, so the moonlight hits in, refracts, and shines back out onto the night sky, and that's why they call Pharaoh God, because he could turn nighttime into daytime. All this cool shit, right? But then it's kind of it's questionable. Is it Napoleon's Alexander the Great? There's all these kind of like debates about what really happened, but it's known the desecration of the Sphinx, right? And
Yeah.
the British, the museum in London, that museum that's in Black Panther, they have the nose and the beard of the Sphinx. And what's interesting to me, like they have it like on lockdown in the basement, it's not on display. What's interesting to me though is Africa has basically kind of come at that British museum many times, like we want our art back, because Africa was uh ransacked and pillaged, by
Whoa,
these
whoa,
other
whoa, whoa,
European.
Johnny! You got to remember, dude. The guy behind the pyramid, he is British, dude. no, no, I totally agree, Donnie.
Anthony,
Like
shut up. The
Great Britain has stolen so many artifacts from so many
the
different civilizations. Like it's not even funny.
but I'm saying, like, but what happened is if the French desecrated it, right, and shot the nose and the beard off the Sphinx, 21 gun salute came, 21 cannonballs, what it took to destroy it. The British attacked them, while they were en route, on the sea, and then took everything, all the prizes that they had taken from Africa. Either way, this is all stuff that belongs back to Africa. And when Africa has, tried to get these artifacts back from the British Museum, they're met with, oh, well, that was our ancestors that took this, we didn't have anything to do with that. But why does that mean you shouldn't give it back though? Like, you know what I mean? It's not your art. Like, you guys remember what Killmonger was saying in Black Panther? He was like, you think your ancestors paid a fair price, or they just took it like they did everything else? And the fact that they have this stuff and they're not willing to give it back to the rightful owner, you know. But then, like, what if the Africans like just went in there, on some, some Rambo shit and just stole all the shit back? Then they would be the villains. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just funny how that works. I've always wanted to go to the Giza Plateau though as well, shape. But
Yeah.
that said, like, I know what you're saying about the whole like the mummy thing and all that stuff. But before I was gonna ask Aaron before he cut himself off, what was your thing, Aaron? If you said it, I missed it.
What got me into horror was the
No,
mummy.
not got you into it, but like you had that moment that was like it just scared you to death. Like Anthony was saying, Jaws, and it was a Spanish movie for Shape, and I said Chucky in Bride, like particularly his face from Bride. Like what was that moment for you? It was something from the Mummy as well, or it was something different.
I would say kind of like the mummy in total, like
Okay,
it, because I love the adventure part of it, but then it was also horror. It was action horror. And at
yeah,
least with Rick, you felt like you had a fighting chance, even because Rick nearly died. The only thing that saved him was Jonathan reading from the book. Like all
reading from
three
the
of
book. Yep.
those characters were essential to that movie to save Rick's
To
life.
save Rick's life. Yep. And see, and that's the thing, and especially when you think about those old things of how they would set up their defenses and traps and
Yep.
all that kind of stuff. Like that shit
Yep.
was like some of that was like well protected. Like you remember even
How
in
Benny died, dude.
you remember even in you guys have seen the movie called The Rundown before, I'm sure, with the Rock, Rosario Dawson,
Love
Sean
the
William Scott,
rundown.
Christopher Walken, and you guys know when they're going to get the gato, and there's like the safe, and you had to like shift the pillars to like the right slab on the floor. Otherwise, if you didn't do it right, it would just collapse. It was there, to kill like any intruder, and you had to shift everything like the proper way, like it had to be here, it had to be there, that kind of thing. I'm saying when you think about like those ancient techniques of how they would protect their treasures and all that kind of stuff, the great lengths that they would go to, is like amazing to me. But the prop question that Anthony had, I'm not sure what you guys said. He said, Bruce, You said Bruce, I immediately think of Bruce off of Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
Fish are friends, not food. And he was like, I remember he was crying. He was like, I never knew my father. Like, but, oh,
I mean, I would almost
I'm gonna say the Millennium
say
Falcon.
Yeah,
I was either
knew
gonna say
some-
I was
I
either
knew
gonna say that
somebody
or a
was gonna say that.
lightsaber hilt, something like that.
Yeah, that's what Eric said. Shape probably say what he said first though. The Michael Kirk mask.
What he said? He said, does that say custom or costumes?
Costume.
Oh, costume
pieces.
pieces.
It said-
Yeah, they do props. Like if you got,
Yeah, I mean, there's a shit ton of things that could be a movie prop. Yeah,
yeah, like freaking like I said, if you got the original coveralls from the movie of like Halloween, or like the original like outfit that Jason wore or Leatherface wore, that is part of the prop. That's a prop.
Or any of those things, Shape, any of those things they let the actors have, or were they destroyed? You know how a lot of movies do that, where they don't let the actors take shit home; they just destroy all of it. Like I know a lot of the stuff from Harry Potter wasn't salvaged. Like for instance, Rupert Grant said like the only thing he got was the Deluminator.
Well, I know what Harry said also too. Harry said he actually got this. He actually had the snitch.
He had the snitch, yeah. And
yeah,
like,
I heard of Professor Snape, the guy who played Professor Snape. You know, too bad he passed away. He was a great actor, but he said he stole some props.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying
Good
though.
for
It's
him.
like they had to steal. That's what I'm saying. They had to steal some because they wasn't gonna let them take it. And you know,
Well-
Daniel Radcliffe went through like 400 different pairs of like those glasses, and he was saying he got that. You said the snitch. Rupert Grint said he got the Deluminator, and like those are like the only things I could think of that got.
I would want the
taken. You would
sorting
think-
hat, bro.
Well, like when we were at the Fair Fest, the panel, Nick Castle did say, like he said, hey, you know, I got the so I ended up keeping the Michael Myers mask, right? Yeah, he got one of the Michael Myers masks. And he said it was funny too because Deborah Hill came back when they're doing Halloween 2, and he's like, "Hey, do you still got that Michael Myers mask? The other ones are we can't find the other ones. The other ones are gone. Do you still have that mask?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna borrow and give it back to you." He said, "I never seen it again." But what's funny is Dick Warlock actually still has that mask.
savage.
Oh,
I think I think Dick Warlock still has it, but I mean, but that's if he can take care of it, it's probably already gone by now.
It's also a dope name.
can you?
Richard Warlock.
Dick Warlock.
Can you tell me like now, like you maybe can explain a little bit better here, and then there was one more thing I wanted to get into before we got off here. Shape, you were telling me but you didn't give me like a link, or I didn't know like which one in particular you were thinking of. When I was asking you like why is it not Nick Castle when she pulls the mask off of him in the OG one? Why is it Tony Moran?
Okay, because
and I don't know what documentary answered that question. You just said I should watch the documentaries, but you didn't say like which one like was talking about that.
Okay, so if you look if you have the Halloween I said because I mean you go on YouTube and find any Halloween 78 documentaries whatever, and they talk about it. So even like Tony Moran said this person, like I guess so when it came to Michael Myers, of course you have like Kid Myers, you know, you see him as a kid unmasked, and then of course like even during the filming of Halloween, of course, Michael Myers is played by majority of the time it is Nick Castle, but there's some scenes where it's Deborah Hill, John Carpenter, and the other guy too. So they kind of have their roles in playing the Shape as well. But
the other guy, who's the other guy?
He's the one that actually designed the kind of like redid the mask. I forgot his name.
Okay.
But he had a part playing the Shape too. But Nick Castle's like the main one that did like like the head tilt thing when he stabbed Bob to the wall and the get up scene and everything else.
Sure.
But so John Carpenter, because they said that, hey, well, why don't we use my face? Nick Castle kind of, hey, why don't we use my face? We'll just be me, whatever. He's like, no, I kind of want somebody else. So John Carpenter ended up, he wanted somebody that had an angelic face. He wants somebody to have an angelic face. Hey, this pure evil man's out killing people. He would have like a real nice looking face, right? So that's when he got Tony Moran, and then that's why when you see Michael get unmasked, it's Tony Moran, and that's the reason why, because John Carpenter wants somebody with an angelic face. And then fucking Tony Moran, he's on there fucking bashing, but he's like, John Carpenter wants someone with an angelic face. Like, you want me, motherfucker? Like, are you dumb? Can you see me? But hell, I'll take the money. He kind of went off about it, but yeah, that's the reason why Tony Moran's the one that's being unmasked.
So then, two things: A, is he still alive now, Tony Moran?
Yeah, dude. Okay, well, like, before you go to beat, like Tony Moran, dude, he's bad business, man. Because I mean, like he really did like a thing where he was shitting on fans, like like you want my signature, where you can go home and jerk off to this, I got Tony Moran's signature, and he went off on tired about fans, saying that that Tyler Mane's his bitch, and oh man, he went off and saying that John Carpenter and
a delusional ass dude right there,
like a beater, like a wife beater, and then Jim Lee Curtis slept with John Carpenter. Yeah, he went on a tirade.
And it was like, dude, the two guys, Anthony, you might know, like from the Texas Chainsaw, where the two guys were like, the original.
You're mute.
Cut.
You're mute.
Still.
Whoa.
What?
There you go.
Okay, you're good now.
Yeah, Tom Lee Wallace. That's what's his name. Tom Lee Wallace is the other guy who played Myers in the 78.
What's up, Blake? I was talking about in the Texas Chainsaw. You know how the original actor of Leatherface was talking about how this is how you close the door, and he like slammed, like you see in the movie, and then I don't know if it was in one of the remakes or what, but he was saying this is how such and such, I can't remember the actor's name. He was like, this is how he closed it, and when he was closing it, he was like all like struggling to like slide it closed. You know what I'm talking about, Anthony?
Yeah, I think I can't think of that dude's name. He has a really long name. He's like in a bunch of movies where he's Aaron. He's Christopher Walken's son in Batman Returns. Like,
oh my
if you want
God,
to take it, you have to go through me.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know
plays Leatherface in the remake. He's in a football movie called The Program and shit. He's a funny dude. I think he's in a fucking Unnecessary Roughness too, or Necessary Roughness. I think him and Gunnar Hansen didn't get along or something like that when they had like some like get-togethers or something like that. I think either Gunnar was talking shit on him, and I think that's what happened. I'm not for sure, but I think the dude that did the remake was fucking scary as shit,
Andrew,
dude. His name is just really long. I can't think what
Andrew, right?
What's up?
Brian Arsky or something like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's exactly it. Yep.
So the other thing that I was shaped when you were talking about the Tony Moran thing is like, like a angelic face. So was it supposed to? It was kind of his idea was here's like this angelic face of a creature who was doing all of this shit that is like vile against nature with all like the murdering kind of thing. And is that said, like, what is the mask like representative for him? Like, why does he feel like he has to have the mask on? Like, he could be getting his ass whooped or whatever, getting jumped, whatever, but then he puts the mask on, then he just takes over, everything. It's kind of like how we as wrestling fans felt like when Kane took his mask off, we felt like he lost some of his power. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I honestly don't know really much like when it comes like 78 because like so John Carpenter has his own vision of Michael and everything else. Especially like when we got like the new ones like Halloween 18 Kills Ends where you take his mask off, whatever, and he's like chasing you because he wants his mask back. It was kind of stay like, that he's like still a kid and stuff. And, he feels like more comfortable or whatever with the mask on. But I mean, he still kills people without the mask, too. I mean, even but it kind of goes back to, like how he put the mask on, the clown mask when he killed Judith. So it's kind of like his, in a way, like his kind of like calling card. But again, it represents like especially like the white mask, the blank, pale, emotionless face. As Dr. Newman said, that mask represents what Michael is.
It's almost like a talisman to him.
Yeah. Donnie, we're all just wearing masks every day, dude. Confucius said every room you step into, you put on a different mask.
Right. Speak for yourself. Where is he today? And I just thought that was kind of cool when I thought about how, like,
Come on, baby, I
how
want to do with the mask on. Oh shit.
how they do, like, that's definitely shit that Anthony be on. But the Anthony got a duck when he goes into the bedroom. When
Howard
you know
the
how
Duck mask would be insane, dude. That'd be crazy.
what?
Because you're tall as shit.
Like the you know how they use those elements though of Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers to make the character, Undertaker, Kane, Mankind. They use those like elements from horror movies to make those characters in wrestling and stuff. One thing they were talking about how the whole story was that Kane had got like burned up, and that's why he had the mask and he had the suit with the sleeves and all. He was covering his whole body because he was so scarred and all of this from the fire, from when him and the Undertaker, just all part of the storyline. And then he took the mask off in 2003, and there was nothing wrong with it. Like, there was like no burns, anything. And then it went into that part of the storyline that it was psychological. Like he thought he looked that way, and in turn, it was him like covering himself all the way from head to toe because he had this perception that he looked that way when there actually wasn't anything wrong with him. You know what I mean? Like, not saying that we all watch wrestling enough to know that Kane was creepy without the mask on, but I think him with the mask on is definitely fucking scarier. Like,
Hey, what movie was he in that he played like the killer?
See No Evil.
See No Evil.
Yep.
I haven't seen that movie. I need to watch that.
They're
Really?
not too. Yeah, I've seen the first one.
That first one's really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a question. Who had a more iconic mask? You're probably gonna say, okay, I'll just see what you guys say. More iconic mask for WWE or WWF, whatever you want to call it, Mankind or Kane?
Oh, Mankind for sure.
I want to say Mankind, but I think Kane just kind of didn't he wear it longer? I mean, obviously
I'd
Cactus
say
Jack.
Kane for myself personally.
Yeah.
But
Actually, so Mankind only was like maybe a year before, like 96 is when Mankind pulled up with the brown like leather mask on. You say that's more iconic, but I think Kane's mask, the red one, and it's got the black slashes going across it
definitely,
right
yeah.
there. That he had in '97 when he first showed up at Bad Blood when he ripped the door off the Hell in a Cell and he went in there and Tombstone the Undertaker. I think that's the one. If I'm just thinking about like masked wrestlers, because I think those are more in like a horror vein versus like what Rey Mysterio would
Rey
wear. Obviously,
Mysterio,
he's
yeah.
had some fucking dope ass masks. Like
Yep.
I remember the Joker one, of course, always comes to mind. The Silver Surfer one comes to mind, and then the Kiss one was always cool too, where he had
I still I still say that Sting and the Undertaker had the best look.
like, but Sting doesn't have a mask on though.
No, but he's his whole outfit was freaking fucking badass. So was freaking like the Undertaker, man. Especially with that hat on and everything else, and like
Well, you're talking about when he became the Crow?
Exactly. I was gonna say he had really cool face makeup and shit before, but like it was top notch when he became like the Crow.
The
dude.
Crow,
like,
yeah. Like
But
funnily enough, Razor Ramon is the one who gave him the idea. He's like, here, watch
I remember
this movie.
that. Yep.
And that's how he got that gimmick for the Crow, which is interesting because Razor or Scott Hall, rest in peace, he took the idea of Scarface, and that's how he came up with the gimmick of Razor Ramon. So like I think that's like super dope. But when I think of just that era and like what Shay was saying with the Undertaker, there was one point where he switched from wearing like the hat to where he would have a coat that had like a hood on it and stuff, and he would go like in WrestleMania with that. And I remember there was one year where he's like it's like he was coming up these stairs onto the stage, and at that point he was 20-0 at WrestleMania, and when you count it, there were 20 bodies around like where he was walking up, and he stopped right here, and it was like zombies almost, like because they were reaching up to him. You saw like 20 different like arms reaching up to Undertaker when he had like the black coat on. He had the hood like over his face. I just thought that was super cool. And then he had the black and red leather, and he came out, and they had the caskets, all the caskets on the stage. And unfortunately, this is the WrestleMania where he lost the streak. But I remember there was all the people that he had beaten, and the last one said Brock Lesnar. And I remember him turning to the side, and he did like that, and the casket opened, and like lightning struck it and set it on fire. And he did like that, and it closed. and he had that red and black like tinged like leather, the jacket, the hat, the gloves, everything. I just thought that super cool, like just completely iconic. He always like gets kind of thrown by the wayside. It seems like when people talk about Hogan, Austin, Rock, But the last thing I wanted to ask is about the just the culture of black horror in general, like just thoughts on it, favorite moments, favorite clips, favorite movies, just whatever you guys think. Because I think what kind of captivated me the most about it was how there's been this transcendence over time where black people just either weren't in it or they were the slave or the experiment of the doctor, to the point where then it went to there was black exploitation, which is black exploitation. So I don't know how good is it really if it's being it's exploitive, right? Then they went from that like Blackula, Ganja, and Hess, like that kind of era, into black people were always the first to die, or they were just like the sidekick to like the main character, and all the way up until now you have this point where you're getting movies where it's just all black casts of just Us, for example, comes Girl with All the Gifts, like shit like that comes to mind. And I just want like what you guys think of that as its own like subgenre, like Candyman, the requel of Candyman. I mean, that kind of thing, like.
I'll go first.
Yeah, don't everybody talk at once.
Dude, Donnie, a movie you should watch. Have you seen the new one, The Blackening?
I haven't seen it, but I want to see it.
Dude, it's super hilarious. It's super funny, dude. Yeah. I literally guessed
What's
like
it on?
I don't think it's on anything. I rented it on Prime. But I'm pretty sure it's on Prime. Yeah.
Okay.
I did guess who the killer was, but it's still fucking fun as shit anyways. Dude, I'm telling you like right now. Well, obviously like the original Candyman like probably is the most iconic, I guess, in my mind. Or the original Dawn of the Dead or whatever, or Night of the Living Dead. But I would say for me, dude, Jordan Peele's films are all top notch for me. Like I enjoy all of them. Like I was literally having like a talk with like Mike, we were, we watched a movie and, dude, I can remember going to see Get Out in the theaters and it was just like, it was something I'd never seen before, but, dude, I think that Candyman requel was just, it like literally brought my fandom like back. Like it was like, I watched the It remake and then I watched 2018 and then it was like the next year I watched the Candyman, and dude, to me, that's like one of the best slashers of like the last, I don't know, probably like 15 years or something. Like to me, it's a very underrated film. Like I like that movie a fucking lot, dude. Like to me, I thought it was a Jordan Peele film like when I first saw it, but then I just realized that he just helped produce it. But yeah.
But his fingerprints are all over it, though.
Oh, it's all over, dude. That's what I'm trying to say. Like for the longest time, I was in the chats when I first was on like Craven's channel and stuff like that, and I was literally being like, "Oh, dude, Jordan Peele did an awesome job with Candyman." And then shit, it was probably Conrad that was like, "Yeah, he didn't direct that one, dude." And I'm like, "Oh," but I don't know. Yeah, probably those. I mean, Us is even a really good one. Like, I think it probably. I know we talk about how much I like Nope. I really do like it a lot, but it probably goes Get Out, Us, and Nope, like probably right in a row with like how I. From my like favorite to least favorite, but they're all like very fucking close. So yeah, that's mine.
Go ahead, Aaron.
I think he's reading something.
Yeah, I don't know.
We froze.
Sorry,
I'm
my
just wondering
connection.
where the heck I
just
get
had
a
to send
log and
something in the
moat.
chat 'cause it's going like every like 15 seconds. It's like cutting out on me. I don't know if it'll be like a controversial take, but the movie that made me notice the like a break in that pattern was the remake of House on Haunted Hill when Taye Diggs survived. I was like, holy shit! I was like, he lived. I was like,
Movie's fucking awesome, dude.
Because
It really
yeah,
is.
because I really liked his character, and his character like. But that's the movie that made me notice like that break in the pattern, and then I started looking for that. Yeah, and I think that maybe drew me more into like meta horror movies where stuff like that kind of like comes into play, or like it subverts your expectation of where you think that person's going to survive, or they end up dying, or like vice versa, like how Jordan Peele talked about in Horror Noir. There wasn't like the white
like savior figure.
Oh,
Is he lagging to you guys too?
Yeah. Well, you're on now. You're good now, dude.
Okay. Yeah. But there wasn't the white savior trope. Because he wanted to play against like that expectation in Get Out.
Oh yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, don't forget about LL Cool J the year before in H2O.
And Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, true.
And I can't even hear.
Aaron, you got to pay your bills, dude. Like, I'm joking. Dude.
All I heard was LL Cool J.
The LL Cool J survived in the H2O, and then Busta Rhymes and Resurrection.
Oh man, I don't know why it's.
Anthony
and
talks
Deep
so
Blue
much shit
Sea.
because he knows nobody's gonna jump him. Too fucking tall.
Well, look for me, like when it comes
You
like
have to jump on him. God.
when it comes like that for me, like I mean, to me, I was kind of oblivious to it. You know, I mean, to be completely honest, like when it comes to like horror films, like I said, like the main horror films I watched like when I was growing up was, of course, like Evil Dead, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday 13th, stuff like that. And like when it comes to those movies, it's like me as a young kid, like, I don't know the difference between who's what, whatever. And this is, I'm still that way in a way. But like the first like movie that I've seen would have been like A Vampire in Brooklyn. Oh my god, I love that film.
Hell yeah, dude! I remember that. It was always on USA around my birthday, like right before Halloween. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, look at that, because I love like Coming to America, freaking Beverly Hills Cop, and I watch Friday, Boys in the Hood, like all those type of movies. So like to me, like when it came to that, like to me, horror movies and like movies I watched, to me they were just regular movies. There's movies that have these characters in it, they have this cast in there. Like I didn't really pick, or hey, well, we're like, how come this guy's on this film or whatever, So I watched like a lot of those stuff, and even like like for me, hell, like my first like break in a way, like it came to like a Mexican actor or stuff like that was like El Mariachi, and then of course Desperado.
Great movie.
Yeah, dude. That movie
we got into Banderas and stuff like that, so that's kind of like my thing too.
What's in the guitar case?
I mean, like, but for
Once
me,
upon
like,
a Time Mexico.
Oh yeah, Johnny Depp, dude, that was a good one too. Yeah,
but for me, to me, it's like I never really noticed it. Like how like black people are always like the first to die, or they were like these type of characters. Like to me, it never really registered to me. When growing up watching those films, and even like I just thought like well, hey, they got this guy in here. Okay, he died, but like. Then I see like another movie, like this, like a comedy movie or like an action movie and stuff like that. So it's like to me, it didn't really register, the difference between how come the black person is always the one that ended up dying or this and that in these horror films. It just really clicked to me until like later on where people like point out like, hey, like why is always a black guy that's always the one that ended up dying, or so like that. And then of course like even like Scary Movie. They kind of, made like in a way like made reference to it, made fun of it, especially with what was it, Scary Movie 2, which I think we split up. It's like what? Why is those white guys?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And of course, to me, it's like, you know,
every time some scary shit, you white people be talking about let's split up.
And then of course, all the white people like take off together.
They leave.
They all leave.
We gonna die,
y'all.
But again, at that point in time, to me, it still didn't like register to me in that sense. So, like I said, to me, like back in that time, it was just growing up. It was like, you know, it didn't really click with me. You know what I'm saying?
I think sometimes when you, because kind of like what you were saying about with the Latino influence, Mexican influence of this or that, I think sometimes it helps when you are of that ethnicity or that background. You kind of look for it more than you would if you were, you know, of a different ethnicity. Because I think for me, like my thing was always like, because I told you, like, and it's no offense to anybody that, you know, is like super religious or anything like that. I went through different religions. I was in Islam, all that stuff. But I can remember being a kid, and this is kind of like what sparked it, was being a kid and seeing this, you know, like blue-eyed, blonde-haired, like
Oh
huge
wow,
picture
Tony, really,
of,
dude?
anyway,
I'm
so
joking,
there will
dog.
be this big picture of this guy on the wall in the church, and it's like everybody is catching the Holy Ghost and falling out all over this like thing that doesn't look like any of us, you know. And I'm sitting in church, 4 years old, 5 years old, like this shit is whack, you know. And then it's like I'm seeing these other characters that are iconic characters, Superman, Batman, whatever, these characters, you know. And not that I was actively thinking at 6 years old, like, oh, there's no black people in this, or you know, not you know, at that age or anything. But when I saw Justice League and I seen Green Lantern, that's the first time I ever seen a black superhero, like ever, you know. And then to me, it was just cool to see, you know, that like we were talking about Mighty Morphin, like having Zach in there. But I think the point I'm making is when you are of that ethnic group, it kind of stands out to you a little bit more. You notice it easier than maybe somebody else who was of a different background that, you know, they wouldn't. And so from early on, I noticed that trope in horror movies of them being the first to die, you know. But what I was saying in particular though was just thinking about like how far we have come, you know what I mean? And there was a progression, and then it seemed like they were trying to keep it's all in this documentary where they were talking about how it seemed like for a while they were trying to keep black people out of horror movies because then they moved them to the suburbs, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, like stuff like that. And there aren't any black people present like in those, but then they're considered these super like titans of the genre and stuff. And I just think what to me about black horror is there's always kind of this commentary, which is like the undertow of it. It could be super scary, and it could have like comedy in it or whatever the case is, but the undertow of it is there's always something that is either critical of black culture or just kind of holding a mirror up to it, like, hey, look at this shit, like we need to stop this as black people, or you know, whatever it is. That's why I really enjoyed like Tales from the Hood, you know what I mean? Like I said, I just thought that was a super profound point, that part with Crazy K, what I was talking about. He was a gang member killing rival gang members, killing other black men just because they had on a different color than he had. And when they put him next to a guy who used to be in the Ku Klux Klan, who had killed a bunch of black people just because they were black, then he got mad and was like, you know, how dare you do that to black people, all this and that. And the guy was like, but how is that any different than what you're doing? You know, you're killing people that look just like you because they got on a different color. You know what I mean? And you almost see that moment where it kind of hits him. But it's like, I remember what Rusty Cundiff said. I think he said it was like holding up a mirror to black culture, but holding up like a funhouse mirror, rather than, instead of like, boom, here's the mirror, here's all the harshnesses and of the reality of it, of being black, and you know, like how the culture is and stuff. They were like, here is a funhouse mirror, so we throw comedic elements in there, and it kind of diffuses a little bit of the tension where we can still talk about these super hard things that don't get talked about. Case in point, Candyman, like the Cabrini Green thing, like the projects, you know what I mean? It's called a project because it was a project by the government to see could they put all of the low income people in one area of the city, so then it would be free of those people. So then you had the suburban area would just be completely, you know, domesticated by people, you know, only by people who could afford it, you know, and you see that Anne Marie is terrified to go outside of her own apartment in Candyman because she's like, you know, they ain't never gonna catch him. And, you know, it's like they were talking about how they called the police and it took them 2 hours to get there or whatever. And then when Helen gets attacked, you know, they were there within minutes, you know, and even Helen points out, like, you know, a black kid gets killed here, cops don't show up for hours, white woman gets attacked, they were here in 15 minutes. Like, even Helen says that line in the first Candyman. And so it was just growing up seeing stuff like that. My grandmother putting me on game to like the world, and you know what I mean, that kind of thing. You know, my grandma obviously told me stories about going to, you know, listen to Malcolm and Martin, and you know, them being assassinated just because of somebody's differing opinion or whatever. So I've always had this kind of like proactive you know like thought process about that. That's obviously, that's not me saying that I'm like, of course I'm not racist or anything, you know, like I love you guys, but you know, I did grow up in Georgia, you know, and even in the 90s still being called that word it was so bad there were black people who were basically reverse racist, you know what I mean, didn't even look at themselves as black. You know, I remember they told my dad, they called him that word, you know, or they said that we don't, you know, we don't serve here. And this is like 1998 at a bank. You know, it's like this man is a Vietnam veteran, took a bullet for his country, and that's how he's getting treated at a fucking bank. You know what I mean? I'm 4 years old. Like, you know what I mean? So my perspective of this stuff has just always been different. And so when you see Candyman, you know, Get Out, whatever it is, it's like it's a commentary. It's a very smart way of like talking about this shit that is taboo or too hard to just talk about normally. If we put it in this format, then it becomes a little bit easier for everybody to kind of like swallow that bitter pill. Because you know, even in Get Out, the guy, he's like, "Why black people?" You know, the dude is just like, "Black is in fashion." You know what I mean? That was his answer. You know what I mean? Didn't know anything about the culture or anything. Just it was the cool thing to be at that moment. You know what I'm saying? And so I think maybe if you're not affected by some of those realities and stuff, it might be harder to watch, you know, because you feel like you can't connect to it, you know. So I understand like that point as well. But Shape, I do think that you'll really enjoy Tales from the Hood, Bones, you know, the girl with all the gifts. I'm trying to think of that one with the aliens that John Boyega was in.
Attack the Block.
You know, Attack the Block. You know, Eve's Bayou, Angel Heart, the joint, the people under the stairs. Like, you know, I think that you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, because I mean, because like when we talked about it, you know, and you're bringing stuff up, whatever. It's like, to me, it's like, you know, like when you were talking about this, you know, and I'm like, you know, like, and you know, as you know, we were talking about, like, I can see, like, hey, you know, like, you know, black people like used for like this these horror films, stuff like that. But like, if like for me, like you rarely see any. I don't think there's even a Mexican horror film out there. I mean, I think there's like that one is what La Llorona. I think that's the only maybe
that's the only one that came to my mind.
It's out there, yeah. And there was really no, and even like you look at these films. I mean, you really don't see a Mexican in a horror film, do you?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Rarely.
I was just about to say From Dusk Till Dawn.
You may see one
guy,
especially not as the antagonist either.
I mean, because you don't like you have what's his face, Danny Trejo. You know, like in Halloween, you know, you got like that one Mexican, but you rarely, and of course, like what Mexicans, you know, like if you see a Mexican in a film, like what is he mainly is? He's a gardener. He's somebody, you know, like stuff like that, pretty much. That's like only you see a Mexican. That's it. And especially in horror films, you don't even see Mexicans in horror films at all.
Mhm.
I don't think it's like besides La Llorona or whatever, or you like Danny Trejo. I mean, is there really like any other horror film that has a Mexican in it?
Yeah,
That you guys can think of?
there you go. Like
There's no Mexicans in there. Especially like now, it's like when it comes to like Mexican films, especially like Robert Rodriguez, who brought of course the Mexican stuff to the kids, with the Spy Kids, and then of course also like his first film El Mariachi, and then of course it went into Desperado, which was a big hit, and Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and stuff like that, and because Antonio Banderas, but even though Antonio Banderas, he is not Mexican. Antonio Banderas is actually from Spain. He's a Spaniard. He's not. He wasn't born in Mexico. He's actually from Spain. But again, but even Antonio Banderas kind of bringing out like that, that culture in a way out there, especially with Robert Rodriguez and stuff like that. So I mean, in a way, that's mainly of like Mexican movies you kind of get. You get your like, especially like the old Western movies, you may get like a Mexican guy from, or like a group of Mexicans, like in an old Western film, they had a like.
And even then, like in Zorro, Anthony Hopkins is British as fuck.
Yeah, and then Zorro, he's not Mexican. Like I say, but you have Banderas, though. But even if you look at that, right, you rarely had a full Mexican cast. You know what I mean? You had that white guy soldier guy. You had Anthony Hopkins. So I mean, there wasn't much of full, Mexican. And then you get the second film, which is a little bit more Mexicans in there, just a little bit, but not too much. But again, it's like I said, there's not really much Mexican horror, any Mexican people in horror movies. So it's like I see what what Diane's talking about, like the black people. But I mean, like I said, but at least but they're getting their breakout, like with Jordan Peele's, like his films like that, and everybody's Candyman, everybody's getting their own thing. And like me growing up, me seeing that, like hey, I knew about Candyman. I knew Candyman, so like there's a black horror villain. You know what I mean? So you had that, so me. Growing up, to me, it's like, okay, you have, Jason, Michael, Freddy Krueger, Candyman, Ghostface, and all those other films. So you had the lineup. But, I can see like now, like, and of course, even like I said, with the Vampire in Brooklyn, oh my God, Eddie Murphy killed in that role. I mean, oh my God, he was like legit. Like, I was like, oh my God, I didn't love that, but again, I love Eddie Murphy. So, but just to see that, as I was growing up, I'm seeing like, hey, everybody's got there. But again, like I said, I mean, me being Mexican, I mean, I really didn't notice, Mexican's not in horror films or like that and stuff like that. But of course, I always watch Mexican movies that my dad used to watch, especially with oh my God, what's his name? He's like a big Mexican singer. He's basically like the Elvis of Mexicans. I forgot his. I mean, I had his name on time, but I used to watch all his films. Like he was real big in Mexico. Like he was like the Elvis of Mexico. Yeah, like I said, and of course, they actually referenced him from the Disney movie for Coco. He was a bad guy in Coco. They actually referenced. They kind of used him as like the reference to it. I'm gonna what's his name. Anyways, but I watched those films, and so like I said, I'm used to that Mexican culture with those films and stuff. So that's like my thing, and of course the other ones too. But like I said, when it comes to like Latinos and like horror films like that, I mean, you really don't get much of anybody.
And I mean, to that point, that's why I feel like me and you like understand the plight of each other. With representation matters and the lack thereof. And I'm saying now it seems like the floodgates are kind of wide open to kind of fix that, and maybe more like Latino, Mexican, Spanish based could be next. I'm not exactly sure why that's a thing where like it's so absent from that particular genre. But to the point, I feel like a horror movie can be smart and classy at the same time that it's also, decapitating people. And it doesn't have to just program us to only see ourselves as savages. Don't get me wrong. I love Bad Boys. I love Friday. I love stuff like that. I love those movies, but that's not necessarily an accurate representation of Black people, or the way Eddie Murphy played, the vampire in Brooklyn. Like they had this little bit of like comedy in there to kind of take away some of that, like some of the like the harshness of the horror. You know what I mean? That one I don't really feel like had a bunch of like undertones in it, but it's like going back to like what I was saying about Tales from the Hood. Like some people don't like the second and third one, but I enjoyed them just because it was bringing in like more modern day like topics. Obviously, the first one was made in '95, so I thought that was cool how they brought in that kind of thing. But again, like I said, the fact that like the first one, Anthony, you remember how the cops were, the dirty cops, basically they killed like the alderman or the councilman for the city, drugged him and everything, and then the black cop just kind of watched it. So when he came back as a ghost after those cops that did that to him, he came after the black cop too, because because remember he was like, well, brother, where were you when I needed you? You know what I mean? And I think part of what makes it stand out for me personally is seeing those tropes, how like black people, and I'm just saying this is just my experience as a black person, and just seeing how black people will see another black person with something that they like or admire or want and will completely hate on them, like, oh, what they had to do to get a fucking Benz, or you know what I mean, damn, they gotta be selling drugs, that's how they got a gold bezel or whatever it is. But then they'll see somebody else a different color with that same thing and be like, oh, that's dope, man, like, oh, I really like that, you know what I mean? And it's like our own people, like, why are you like that to people that look like you, but not that you should be like that necessarily to anybody, but to the people that look like you, though, you're cutting them down. Oh, nah, nigga, you bullshitting, or you faking, or whatever it is. And I felt like especially Candyman, like there's that scene where Anthony is talking about how not that Anthony, but Anthony is talking about the story of Helen Lyle, and if you say his name in the mirror, he will appear and kill you and all this stuff. And he's like, so I thought that we could. And his girlfriend is like, what did you think? And he was like, summon him, and she was like, Anthony, no, absolutely not. My point being, like, the cautiousness. You know what I mean? Like, black people just don't take chances like that. You know what I mean? So when those kind of moments happen, that's why I felt like it felt like a real reaction. That scene where she's in the laundromat, Anthony, Aaron, she opens the door and she just sees that dark like corridor, the steps going down, and she's like, nope, and just closes the door and she leaves. Even if Anthony was down there, which he was, she wasn't about to, nope, just close that shit and she left. That's like the kind of shit I'm looking for, because that's more realistic. That's more like what like a black person would do in this situation. You know what I mean? So I'm saying all that to say that with the whether it's an all black cast or just more black people being ingratiated in the genre, it's being written from a perspective that's more realistic than of yes, you know what I mean? And that's what I appreciate the most about it. There was like a whole roundtable discussion thing that they had with different people from like mental health, people helping the youth, like all these different people, and they had a roundtable, the Candyman Blue, and they're talking about how like black people have like this high suicide rate because they don't go to therapy, and it's considered a weakness if you do go to therapy and all this and that, and how Brianna's dad was like, I bet you didn't know that your daddy could fly, and he jumped out of that window, basically, killed himself, but that was his only way out, because other than that, it was weak to go to therapy or go talk about your issues. You know what I'm saying? And it's stuff like that it really is happening in the culture, that horror is the only genre that has placed that and put that realness in there and said, let's talk about it. Because you wouldn't talk about that like in a comedy movie or any action or whatever it is. They ain't talking about that shit in those other genres. You know what I mean? So horror is like as real as it could get, walking that line of reality and still scaring the shit out of you.
Hey, but I'll tell you right now, two things, right? Leprechaun in the Hood. I think the only white person that was in that movie was Warwick Davis as Leprechaun.
Dude, how epic would that have been if he would have been at the Scarefest?
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Scarefest.
That would have been awesome.
And then too, like even that one guy from Jason X who went toe to toe with Jason. That was badass.
There was actually somebody in the David Arquette line actually talking about Warwick Davis, how they were wishing he was there or something like that. Yeah. I didn't really actually see a lot of Leprechaun stuff, to be completely honest. I don't think so.
You never seen Leprechaun films?
Who played
No, I have, but I'm saying at Scarefest, like I didn't see like a lot of Leprechaun like material around. I think one of the things I realized
who played him originally?
Warwick Davis.
My bad.
Warwick Davis. Yeah, Warwick Davis played Leprechaun, all of them, except for Leprechaun Origins and then the other new Leprechaun that came out.
The new.
He's played all. But go ahead.
No, I'm saying you said except for Origins. Who was it? I didn't hear what you said.
Origins is like a CGI thing or something.
Yeah, it was like a creature and stuff. And then of course, then they brought back Leprechaun again, but it was more like a different actor playing.
He actually didn't do a bad job. I thought it was watchable. It wasn't like crazy great.
But in the Leprechaun from
it was Warwick Davis.
Other one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Warwick Davis played.
He's been a goblin. He's been all kind of shit.
Yeah, Warwick Davis played Leprechaun in Leprechaun 1, 2, 3, Leprechaun in the Hood, and Leprechaun in Space.
Yeah, Space was 95. Yep. Yeah, when actually a lot of those movies went to space as horror films, Leprechaun actually kind of did it first. They did it in 95, and then like Hellraiser did it in 96, and then Event Horizon came out in 97. It's kind of.
I still like Jason X probably the best one. I love Jason X.
Yeah, X was that 2000 or 99?
I think it was 2000.
2000, I think. Yeah. And then you had Alien Resurrection in 97. Dope shit.
What are you guys' thoughts on like crossovers? I know the whole thing about like black horror was my last question, but just real quick before we go, was what's y'all's like opinions on crossovers and that thing? Because I know Tony Todd had said that they offered him Candyman, Leprechaun, like a crossover thing, and he, immediately was like no. But kind of like how Burning Rose decided not to do the second one. Right. So I'm saying, what are ones that you guys like would pitch that you think could work? Because Leprechaun versus Candyman, that wouldn't work. Leprechaun versus Chucky, maybe, but versus Candyman, I don't think that would have worked anyway.
I've heard, so I remember you and I talked about that one with Tony. I remember hearing about that one like a long time ago. I remember there was one that I was like, it was the Demonic Toys versus Puppet Master. When I was do not watch that movie. I'm just telling you like right now. I was a big Puppet Master fan when like I was a little kid. To me, those movies were kind of like intriguing. But I think what's the dude's name from Lost Boys? The dude that's like a singer now or something. God damn it!
It's new to me.
The one kid from like Goonies and like Friday the 13th.
Why
can't I think of his name?
Feldman?
Corey Feldman. He plays like the dad in that movie, and it's not very good. Okay, so when it comes to like crossover, see, it's hard to do a crossover in my opinion because it's just like hard to like gel. Like, dude, Freddy versus Jason was like the perfect like, I guess you would say like storm. Like it was a perfect crossover. I thought it was fun. They did it. I thought they did it pretty well. It's like they didn't do it I mean, it wasn't great, but it also. I had fun with that movie, man. Like it's nostalgic as fuck for me.
But it also works because they're opposites too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and to me, both of their universes can gel together very well and like kind of make sense. Aside from that, I would say I've heard some people talk in some streams before where they said that they would bring like Tobin Bell into like a Scream film, like Scream and Saw.
That'd be cool.
I feel like I
think that works.
Interesting as fuck. Yeah,
you got to go supernatural versus supernatural, and then like
exactly. Yep, something believable, like something. Yeah, to me, Saw and Scream would be kind of cool.
So, are we considering Chucky and Leprechaun supernatural?
Definitely
like pitting them against each other.
Well, for me, it'll be Halloween and Trick or Treat.
Okay,
that'd be really cool.
I mean, because Michael is supernatural, so yeah, that makes sense.
And then of course, Trick or Treat Sam, he's like Sam Hain. He's like the spirit or whatever of Halloween.
Could also do Trick or Treat and Tales in the Hood, and because they're both anthology little bits. Have like a mega grindhouse movie.
Or have a Jason versus Michael.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, they need
Battle
to
see
gel.
who talks first.
They need to gel together Michael's origin story with Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I think that would be a fucking solid ass fucking. They can do it, dude. I'm telling you, they can, dude.
What's the hysteria around Halloween 3? Like, is it just because it was so slept on at the time? That's why so many people are fans of it now, or because like every stream you bring up Halloween 3, like in some capacity about that, how they should have tied it into the Halloween, trilogy, or there's some way to make it like more useful than it was, whatever the case is, and maybe it's just like something I'm missing.
Okay, well, so in my opinion, like some of the coolest things I saw at the fucking Scarefest were like those Trick or Treat Studio Halloween 3 masks. I saw like a couple vendors had them.
Yeah.
For the exception of the price, which it's totally valid because those things are fucking super cool looking. The witch one I saw wasn't as good as like the skeleton and pumpkin mask, but I think to me, Donnie, like I think when I was a young kid, I just didn't get it. Like I was too young to like get the mystery and the awe behind like, or the allure behind like. There's just like something super like creepy and eerie about like Colonel Conquerin, and then just like the whole like mystery of like, oh, we're gonna create these masks. I know the Stonehenge thing is kind of out there, but like just to like create these masks to like sacrifice all these kids on Halloween, it's like pretty fucking intense. You know what I mean? Like it's because yeah. So I think I just like, as maybe we've gotten older, maybe we just appreciate it more because it's kind of like an eerie anthology style Halloween film. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's its own like a standalone thing. But
yeah,
I mean,
if it was a standalone, like a Trick or Treat, I think we maybe. I think that's why people. I think that's the way people are looking at it now as we're getting older. I think, to be honest. And Dr. Chalice is just total boss, dude. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
for me, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Like I really haven't watched it because I mean I talked to my mom about like, oh, what's Halloween 3 Season of the Witch? Like, well, Michael's like okay, well I never watched it, but I actually watched it at least about 5 years ago when I first finally watched it. And I really enjoyed it. Like, man, this is actually a good movie. And to me, I actually put it as part of the franchise. It is Halloween 3. It is part of the franchise. Yeah. So I mean, I love it. But again, at that time when they released it, because that's what John Carpenter intended Halloween to be, was an anthology film. But everybody wanted Michael Myers back, and of course Mustafa Akkad, same thing. Like, we're going to do Michael. Forget this crap. So that's why he brought Michael Myers back in Halloween 4. But that's kind of a big thing. Like, it kind of tanked because Michael wasn't in it and everything else at that time. But now it's grown a huge cult following that everybody loves it and everything else. I mean, just like certain movies, they got a lot of hate and crap for it, but now everybody just loves it now. So,
well, that's kind of the thing, though. Like, you can't keep advertising something to somebody and then make something else with that same name, and then the thing that they've been looking for the whole time is not, in it. Then of course people are gonna, the natural reaction is kind of like revolt, from it, because I had that same thing. Like I told you guys before, where I was watching it 40 minutes in, whatever. I'm like, where the fuck is he? Like, yeah. But if you had that, you'd be mad as hell if I was like, here's a Batman movie, and then he was in there for 10 minutes.
But technically that's what we got with ends. We're like, where the hell's Michael at? We got Corey instead. No, I'm just joking. I mean, you're not wrong. They duped us. They're like, where's your money at? We need it. Go see this movie. It's not
we need it.
Like, Jamie Lee needs her fucking bills paid. Let me have your money. Go watch this film. You're gonna be disappointed. Tough shit. No, I'm just joking.
With it being no, you're not. With it being an anthology, it was gonna be like this movie is about one thing, the next movie is gonna be about it was gonna do like that, versus like how Tales from the Hood is a bunch of short stories in one.
So pretty much the anthology film of pretty much Halloween that John Carpenter intended to be, it's gonna be like Goosebumps in a way. Yeah. It's like each film was going to be like something happening on Halloween night, and they were going to release it yearly. They're going to release it every Halloween year. Every year,
I would have been interested to see what other ideas he had. To be honest, like from just the two that we got with Michael and then the Halloween 3 like setting or just storyline, pretty fucking cool, man. Like I would have been interested.
Is there? I'm sorry. And
no, I'm just saying, like it would have been interesting to see like what else he had in mind, or yeah.
Well, I was just gonna ask, was there like a draft or anything done for what would have been a Halloween 4 before it became the return of Michael Myers? Like what his next idea was?
I say no. I don't think. I think they were like, you need to do Halloween 3, and I think people were probably pissed, and he probably had other things that he had to do. Like I think he did like shit at that time. What would have came after that? And like,
I think Tommy Walsh directed it, I believe.
Yeah, he direct. Yeah, like John Carpenter was like, "Yo, here you go, dude." Like,
but okay, like the whole thing, the whole thing, like John Carpenter only wanted to do Halloween. That was the only thing he wanted to do, and then the studio said, "Hey, you got to do Halloween 2," and he's like, "No, I'm not doing it," and he didn't want to do it. But I'm guessing what happened was he wanted to do, I think it was The Fog or The Thing, and they're like, "Well, hey, if you want to do this film, you're going to do Halloween."
Pretty much, yeah.
And, but then what happened was John Carpenter kind of backed out a little bit, and they actually had a lawsuit, and then they said, "Hey, you said you're going to do Halloween 2, you're going to freaking do it." And they actually had a lawsuit, and then of course the Cubs won that, and then of course he went back and he did Halloween 2. But then they said, "Hey, you're going to do another one for Halloween 3 because of the lawsuit thing." So he did Halloween 3, but then after that it was pretty much done. Like he wanted nothing to do with the Halloween franchise after that, and then. But then, of course, with the bombing of Halloween 3, which everybody hated because Michael was in it, then Sabakad said, we're going to bring Michael back with Halloween 4.
Was he already contractually obligated to do a sequel, and that's why the lawsuit?
He was contractually obligated to do a certain number of films for, I think, that production company. I think that's what happened, and I think.
But it didn't necessarily have to be It didn't have to necessarily be a Halloween sequel, but that's what they wanted.
Exactly. Yep. I'm pretty sure he wanted to do like The Thing, and I think Christine was just another one that he wasn't like so set on like doing, but like he was like, okay, like. I think it was almost like a project piece. He's like, yeah, sure, like we'll do Christine or whatever and shit like that. But like The Fog, I'm pretty sure was something he wanted to do. And then like he drank a 12-pack of beer and wrote Halloween 2, and then they fucking filmed it. And then, I don't know. I think They Live was like 86. Am I wrong on that? Might have been earlier. No, I think it was like 86.
Have you guys seen Maximum Overdrive?
No.
Definitely. Emilio. Yeah. Dude, speaking of Emilio Estevez,
and Aaron, I know you've seen it. I think we watched it together.
Yeah, we did. I'm sorry, guys. It's really late.
Jesus, Aaron.
I'm gonna have to hop off like an old ass, I guess.
No, I'm actually wanting to watch a movie, and I got to get up early. So yeah, this is like perfect timing because
we're just gonna cut it off. But but I appreciate you guys coming on. A lot of good talk about Scarefest and everything like that. Has been one hell of a stream. And of course, before we go ahead and go, also to you guys, remember Anthony, like I say, if you can make it great, I know
we might be doing a hay rack ride Monday, but if we can make it, I'll definitely be on.
But so like I said, next week again, everybody's going to be the 1K subscriber giveaway. Like I said, you're getting official poster from Scarefest, along with the Scarefest pillow, along with the Halloween Michael Myers poster, along with a signed autograph photo from Nick Castle as part of the giveaway as well.
Dude, I thought you said Scarefest. I was getting that stuff. I'm just.
Anthony, your jokes are terrible, bro.
Donnie fell for it. He was all like, "Son of a bitch."
I definitely didn't, because I was about to ask him, "What do your friends get?" Like, because we support you.
You can put your name in the. You put on the video.
No. Fuck all that. No.
That's freebies.
No,
freebies.
Hey, Aaron. Damn. Like.
You're literally saying it without saying it.
Can I talk, please?
Donnie, your jokes are bad, dude.
That was terrible. I'm saying you can have a drawing with the three of us in it, right? And then do 3 drawings.
Anyway, as I was saying, guys. But again, like I said, just go to that video, comment down below your favorite Michael Myers is. I think we have already 9 people already commenting who the favorite Michael Myers is. But again, I highly advise you guys as well to please share that YouTube video, is because for some reason YouTube doesn't really put my crap out there very much. Donnie kind of messaged me like, hey, like I don't get notifications that you post video. So
and I got the bell on.
Yeah, he's got the bell
Yeah,
on. So
same.
like I said, pretty much YouTube's like doesn't want YouTube wants to keep me in the dark. They don't want everybody to know about the shape in the shadow. They want to keep me in the shadows as long as they can. But yeah, so all three of you guys, please, if you guys can, please share the YouTube video with everybody you know. And of course, everybody's watching the stream, and of course, people that watch the video, please share the video and everything else.
What's the title of the video, Shape?
The title of the video is a 1K subscriber giveaway.
Okay, I thought that's what it was. I don't get like a little bell, but like if I refresh like the home page of like YouTube, then like it'll have your video. It'll say 30 minutes ago or hour ago, whatever. But it won't actually notify me that you have uploaded it.
But yeah, if you guys can go ahead and do that, I'd really appreciate it. Try to get like a lot more people into this. Like I said, it'd be kind of a decent giveaway. And like I said, we'll also do the Halloween party next week as well. Probably just kind of do. You guys can dress up in costumes, whatever. Of course, Donnie will have his mother come and talk about The Exorcist as well. It's gonna be pretty awesome too. So, but that's pretty much it for my thing, guys. And you guys want any plugs you guys want to
I mean, unfortunately, I can't stay backstage. I'm gonna hop off after this so I can shower and hit the rack. But I appreciate everybody that tunes in, comments, everything, shows Shape, Donnie, Mock, love myself, everything like that. I really appreciate it. My family even asked to have the link, though they can't like stay up totally late. So like I'm gonna share that with them for the big Halloween giveaway, so they can kind of see what we talk about and everything. So I think it'll be a good turnout.
Okay.
Dope.
And sorry, last thing before I head out. Thank you, Shape, for having me, and I love you, fellas, and I hope you all sleep well.
You see, it's changed now after you guys have harassed him about that the last couple of weeks, because he would just be like, Donnie, I love you. Screw you other two guys. And y'all was like, what?
It's all right, Aaron. I know your love's pure. It's all good.
But y'all have a wonderful night, morning, and get some sleep, fellas.
Right on. Later, Aaron.
All right, boss. Love you. I'll talk to you in the morning. Just I tried to go with the Big Don Grizzly and have Shape. That's gonna be my new name. But no, at King Donatello on Instagram. More videos coming. Now that I got a whole like open living room area, I think it's like it might even be soundproofed, which is super dope. I didn't know that.
Dope.
So now I can crank the amp up and like really, really fucking play now. You know what I mean? Don't have to worry about anybody like complaining or anything. But Shape, as always, man, thank you for having me on. I'm definitely gonna talk my mother into telling you guys about the Exorcist thing. I'm not sure. We could talk about the details of when you would want that, if you want that first or last or whatever. But I'll definitely talk to her about it. If not, I'll just like maybe send you a video of her talking about it. You can edit it in or whatever. But thanks for having me. It's always fun. It's all it's all love, Anthony. I'm just trolling you.
No, dude, because my jokes were shit, dude. Said they were trash.
Screw you too then.
We got one comment. I'll go ahead and answer this before we head out. So it says, "Hey Shape, did you not like how the mocha coveralls turned out? Why did you redye them?" Okay, so when I dyed them the cocoa brown, they looked okay, but like a certain lighting, it looked kind of orange. Like a little orange tint to them, and I didn't quite care for that. So I ended up getting dark brown dye, and that's going and redying them to get like that darker brown look to the coveralls and stuff. I think they came out a lot better with the dark brown.
Is that what you're wearing when you take the tater tots out for trick or treating, or this is what you wore at?
Well, this is the one we were in trick, because I'm going as a Rob Zombie, Michael Myers, because the Rob Zombie film, okay. He wears like a dark brown coveralls.
Yeah.
Film, yeah. So I'm going as the Rob Zombie. I'm going as a dream sequence Halloween 2 Michael, because he's got all the blood over his coveralls and got the bullet hole in his head and stuff, and the blood's all dripping and everything else. Yeah, I'm doing
that shit was intense, dude. I finally watched the whole movie. That shit was intense. Is this him from Curse right here? The the pictures you have of the background is Freddie and Jason.
Yeah, that's
Michael.
cursed.
That's right. His hairline is fucked up.
He also says I just got the he's got the original coveralls from the Rob Zombie film. Yeah, the actual like identical coveralls. Yeah, I mean, like say if you want to go ahead and read them yourself, like I said, just get the brown, dark brown dye. I said fill I fill a tote up with hot water, and I put the dye in there with some. I sprinkle salt in there, and then put the dye in there, and then kind of, get all mixed together. And after the coveralls in, but when you do that, make sure you move the coveralls around for 30 minutes. You gotta keep moving around. Let them soak in there. Keep moving them. You don't want to let them sit there. And then once you're done with 30 minutes, pull them out and then put them in cold water. So what I did was I just dumped the tote out of the hot water and dye, and then I just fill it back up with cold water. And I put the coveralls in there, and I kind of rinse them out pretty much and let them.
Oh, you have like a specific tub for this that you're doing. When you say tub, I'm like, you staining your bathtub for this? Like,
I got a tote. Yeah, so you make sure you but also too, make sure you wear gloves too, because you want that dye stain your hands and stuff. So make sure you have gloves on too, and wear something that you don't care for. That way you don't, when you get the dye,
in case it does,
it won't be too bad.
Drip and also I really hope the next thing that you guys go to, that we can join you, or maybe you guys can. If you guys get a chance to come to Missouri, maybe all of us can go and check out the military school, Kemper. Like I said, Boonville is about 17 miles from where I'm at, so it's literally right up the highway, and
sick.
We'll be right there in Boonville. We could leave there and go straight to the casino. And also I hope the next convention you guys go to, Tyler Maine is there, so Anthony can look him eye to eye and be like, "What's up now?" I'm here.
I think Anthony might be a little more. Okay, how tall are you, Anthony?
Dude, I'm
7'1".
To be completely honest, I'm just being honest because I know God's looking down, and she doesn't want me answering incorrectly. No, he's like, what the hell do you mean by she? No, no.
What? You thought that's the problem I had with that comment?
I'm only 6'6.5" without shoes on. If I just have bare feet, it's 6'6.5". So when I put some shoes on, 6'7", sure.
Okay. So I think Tyler Maine is 6'8" or 6'9". So Tyler Maine is actually a little more taller.
Oh, dude, he's probably got 40 pounds on me, man. In the movie,
but you see how tall Ken Free was, how tall the height with me and him are. But in the film, he's eye to eye to Tyler Maine.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering, is Tyler Maine actual 6'8", 6'9"? Yeah. I think Joe Free was an inch shorter than you were.
I wonder if I was the tallest dude at the convention. No, there was some tall dude in it was a Pikachu outfit, but where was it? It was a dog or something. You know what guy I'm talking about? I swear to God, he was following me around. I swear he wanted to see if I was as tall as him or something. I don't know. It was crazy. I don't know.
They do that all the time, though. You know how they said the Undertaker was 6'10". He's really 6'8", maybe. You know what I mean? So it could just be that.
True, dude. And I want to say really quick,
you guys said, he was, when Joe was looking at him, they were face to face.
Yeah. I wanted to say though on the Undertaker though, I always liked his original costume, dude. I always thought it was super cool with the gloves and all that shit and the hat. I always thought that shit was super cool. But when he changed it up, I didn't care. But he was my favorite wrestler, hands down. Growing up, he is my favorite wrestler of all time.
Undertaker.
Sure. Oh yeah, definitely. Yep.
You talking about when he had the purple gloves?
Yeah, and then the one dude was the same person. He had gray on, that match where he fought himself or something.
Yeah. The Undertaker versus Undertaker. Yeah.
Dude,
SummerSlam
talk
94.
about just marketing, man. Dude, I've been watching the WCW Halloween Havocs. I haven't watched one since I got back, but I'm at 96 right now. So
you gotta watch that one, Goldberg versus Kevin Nash for the belt.
Dope.
I think it was Halloween Havoc 97 or 98, one of the two. But
I just want to say also, dude, my bad. Before we leave, just want to say, yo, Conrad, I know you're still in the chat, man. Thank you for yourself and everybody else that was in chat tonight. Appreciate you guys. And dude, we'll probably have to have Conrad on like the next one or something like that. Like I'm
Yeah,
not
for
sure
sure,
what he's
man.
yeah, I'm not for sure what he's doing.
Anytime he wants to come on, man, he's got to hit me up. Like I said, I'm mind, no problem having him on, no problem.
No doubt.
Yeah, Conrad's my guy too. Thank you for introducing me to him, Anthony. Like,
Yeah, you guys know
cool as
wrestling
shit,
way
like,
more than I do, dude. Yeah.
But again,
like,
buddy,
it's just always fun to interact with you guys. I appreciate it, man. You know, for sure.
always. But again, everybody, thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate it. And again, don't forget, like I said, with the video, please share it so everybody sees we get a good turnout for the giveaway. But again, everybody, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoy. My main guy is always on with me. And of course, everybody, always remember the shape is always in the shadows. Always. Later, everybody.